bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey.
The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR, Martinsburg.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance to fair.
We ask for a chance to fair.
Chance to equal our strife.
Chance to equal our strife.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat beat.
We can't beat beat.
Woo, beat.
Who let the dogs out?
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football, featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And welcome into Coburn Field. We are on the campus of Martinsburg High School, where today it is quarterfinal round action from the West Virginia State Class AAA football playoffs. The three-time defending state champion Martinsburg Bulldogs playing host to a county rival in the Spring Mills Cardinals. For Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Vic Holmes. Jason Colrick is on the sideline. Matt Crawford, our on-site producer today, with Caleb Falero back at the studio. Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick operating today's cameras. Vic, it is round number 2 of the playoffs, a place that Martinsburg is very familiar, and they got here in impressive fashion with an 84-0 win last week against Preston for the Spring Mills Cardinals. It's a young program, only in their 7th year, and they picked up their first ever playoff win last week, a 28-27 victory on the road at Greenbrier East, putting them into, well, newfound territory.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Spring Mills. I'll tell you, that's a tremendous feat, being as young as they are as a program, and to get their first win, I think is really great. You know, they've done some, I think, miraculous things out there. They've organized themselves. I think they got a direction in which they've decided this is how we're going to go and this is how we're going to get there, and they've gotten there probably sooner than they had anticipated. So congratulations to them on another good season. Now, today, obviously, this is another season in itself, and the fact that you're playing a team, first of all, that you've already played during the regular season. You know, you got beat handily in that football game. But, you know, today's another day, and I'm not saying it's going to be some big upset or anything of that nature. I just think it's going to be one of those. Can't make any mistakes. You can't, you know, put yourself in a position where you give Martinsburg any opportunity for easy scores or anything of that nature. So I think coming in here today, they have to feel as though, well, we got nothing to lose. Let's go out and let's give it all we got. Certainly a key part of that regular season loss against Martinsburg, which, by the way, came back on the 11th of October, and the Bulldogs won by a 77-0 final. Martinsburg had 5 special teams touchdowns in that game. Gerard Bowie returned 3 punts for touchdown. Jarvis Thurston added a punt return touchdown, and Joshua Montalegre a 90-yard kick return touchdown. Ironically enough, Vic, Martinsburg had their second 5 special team touchdown game last week against Preston. Yeah, it's amazing. I think one of the things I would have to have done if I'm Spring Mills, I'm in practice. I've got to find some way of not getting the ball kicked to these guys for a run back. I've got to find some kind of a way to be able to prevent that. Obviously, not that that's the only thing that beat you the first time those two teams played, but it's a big plus for Martinsburg. You know, you go 5 touchdowns in special teams against you during the regular season, and then just last week in a playoff game, they score 5 touchdowns as far as the special teams are concerned. You've got to say, we've got to do something to prevent that, and there are some things that you can do, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. Well, the Bulldogs come in with a record of 11 wins, no losses on the season. For Spring Mills, they're the 9 seed. They come in at 7-4. That matches the school's best program record. That was back in 2015 when they went 7-3 in the regular season, falling against Capital in the playoffs to finish that year at 7 wins and 4 losses. Spring Mills has reeled off 3
consecutive wins and 4 wins in their last 5 games heading into this matchup against Martinsburg, while the Bulldogs still hold on to the second longest winning streak in the nation right now at 53 in a row, trailing only Caledonia, Minnesota, who heads into another round of the playoffs there, winners of 67 straight. Now let's send it down to the sideline. Standing by is Jason Colrick. And Jason, we were expecting some rain and certainly cold temperatures. It looks like, at least for now, the rain is holding off.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody woke up this morning, looked outside, the sun was out, and we thought, maybe the forecast is wrong. But as the time has gone on this morning, the clouds have definitely come over, the winds picked up, and it has definitely gotten quite brisk out here. Right now you can see that the crowd is probably, if they're going to come, it's going to be a late crowd, very sparse out here. Wondering if the weather and the anticipated rain is going to keep the crowd down. I will tell you that initially they said that rain was going to come around 1 o'clock. It looks like it's hopefully going to hold off until 3:30. So maybe we'll get later in this game before the rain actually comes.
Well, and certainly one other element that will keep this crowd down just a little bit on this Saturday afternoon. There's a lot going on. The West Virginia Mountaineers are playing a home game on Senior Day in Morgantown. There are a lot of Panhandle fans that like to make that trip, and the Shepherd Rams are in round 1 of the Division II Super Region 1 playoffs, and Shepherd getting a touchdown pass from Tyson Bajan to Devin Phelps to have a 7-0 lead, and that is with about 7.5 minutes left in the first half up at IUP. We'll keep you updated with those scores, and as well scores from other playoff games. And in fact, we'll take a timeout, and on the other side, we'll have our check of the playoff schedule, see what happened last night in the AAA playoffs, and set up that Musselman matchup as they're getting ready to play today down at Parkersburg South. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone 304-350-1931. Find them online at WHMsystems.com. This is West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We welcome you back into Coburn Field, where the Martinsburg Bulldogs get ready to take on the Spring Mills Cardinals in quarterfinal round action of the West Virginia State Class AAA football playoffs. Time for us to see what else is going on with our check of the playoff schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance, a full-line insurance agency on Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Well, Vic, Jason, let's start with action last night. I got a chance to watch a little of this one off and on, listened when I wasn't able to watch. Cabell Midland, the number 2 seed, gets by George Washington, the 7 seed, 28-18. It was a 14-7 game at the half. GW got a field goal on the opening possession of the second half to cut it to a 14-10 deficit, trailing 21-10. GW got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, got within 21-18, but Cabell Midland getting a touchdown with about a minute 32 left, sealing the deal as the Knights win again by 10. J.J. Roberts had 187 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns to give Cabell Midland the victory, and now at 12-0, they move on to the semifinals.
That's kind of surprising. I did not expect that score to be anywhere near that close. I thought looking at it, maybe 3 touchdown or so win, but obviously I think GW obviously played well in that football game, and maybe Cabell Midland is maybe not the Cabell Midland that we've seen in the past couple of years.
Well, I think part of that, Vic, though, is GW lost their first 2 games of the year, and after that they hadn't lost another game the rest of the year. So they were riding high. They were playing some of their best ball. So, I mean, I think you look at that, and they were probably, because of those first 2 losses, they were seated a little bit lower than what they should have been in the state. So I'm not overly surprised that they played them tough. I mean, if you look at George Washington's record, they played some good teams down the stretch and beat some really good teams. So for me, I'm not really surprised. You know, you look at the records to start and go, okay, this should be like that. But knowing that GW had lost those first 2 games and then won everything else after that, maybe not as surprising as most would think.
All right, next up for Cabell Midland will be, no real surprise, the number 3 seed in Spring Valley. They scored a 30-0 victory over number 11 seed Capital. That's after the Capital Cougars had upset the 6 seed Wheeling Park in round 1. Those 2 teams met in the regular season, and it was much the same. Spring Valley scored a 41-0 victory, so they again shut down Capital, holding the Cougars to just 166 total yards. Spring Valley picks up their 9th straight win, and by the way, their only loss in the regular season was a 28-21 setback against Cabell Midland all the way back on September 13th. They get the rematch next weekend.
Oh, that'll be interesting. It'll be a real interesting contest when you have the games that close, but now that you've had 8-9 games behind you, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to step forward in this ball game. Obviously, I think it is close to, I would say, a toss-up between whoever's going to win that ball game.
You know, I was kind of worried after watching what Capital did to Wheeling Park. I was really surprised. I thought that they would give Spring Valley a lot more competition in that game, but being shut out twice, obviously they had their number. You always worry about Capital. You don't look at, that's one of the only 2 teams in the state that has beaten Martinsburg. I believe it was the last team in the state that has beaten Martinsburg, so you always worry about that. It's going to set up a good matchup, and not trying to look ahead, but Spring Valley can go in and beat Cabell Midland. You know, we talked about it the other day. They're looking at getting back to the island for the 4th straight year, and there's a potential that they could be playing the same exact team for the 4th straight year at the island if the seeds hold out and they win that.
Jason, what's ironic about that? The last time Cabell Midland made it to a state championship game was 2012, where they lost to the Martinsburg Bulldogs 38-14. So whoever comes out of that other semifinal, if it is Martinsburg that wins here and goes on to that state championship game, well, it'll be deja vu all over again. All right, the other game going on in AAA today, 9-2 Musselman, winners of 6 of their last 7, visiting the 4 seed Parkersburg South. They are 10-1. This is that 4-5 matchup. Parkersburg South has won 2 in a row since their only loss, which was a 35-27 setback at Wheeling Park down the stretch of the season. These 2 teams, while they're far apart, guys, they've played like competition. Morgantown, Wheeling Park, and Parkersburg, all 3 have been on both teams' schedules, so they should have at least some familiarity with one another.
Well, yeah, definitely, no question about it. And there's not that many AAA schools, and these guys obviously have to play each other, and they do every year. So that's a good measuring stick for each one of those teams. So I think they both have a perspective about what each team does and what they do against other types of defenses and other offenses. So that's one variety that you have. You know, sometimes you have a team like Martinsburg who will play teams out of Philadelphia, out of Virginia, and that type of thing. It's kind of hard to put that perspective together because you only see those people once a year, and you don't have any real history. But these guys have a history, so I think it's going to boil down to the better team is probably going to win that ball game. I don't think it's going to be any fluke. It's just going to be the better team who prepares the best for it.
On the big question for Musselman, Blake Hartman, he rolled that ankle last week, Jason.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. I think that's going to be a huge question mark right now. We're not in their practices, but we watched Blake Hartman last week. We did the broadcast of that game, and he injured himself. Now, we say that, and what they ended up doing with him is they pulled him off the defensive side for a good bit and only had him play offense. But even after he had rolled his ankle, he still had over 150 yards rushing in the second half. So if he's playing and he's playing healthy, this is going to be a great matchup. If he's not playing, which we're not really sure what his status is, if he's not playing, I don't know if Musselman is able to get past Parkersburg South without him.
By the way, the connection again with Martinsburg. Obviously, Musselman played Martinsburg in the semifinals a season ago. Should they win, we'll have that rematch again. And Parkersburg South, well, the last time they made the state championship game was all the way back in 2003. Curse the name of Ben Gum in that 26-20 win over Martinsburg in that Mud Bowl.
The Mud Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you have to say. The Mud Bowl. And actually, if you think about it, that game right there is probably the biggest reason why Wheeling Island Stadium now has turf, because that year it snowed. They tried to clean off the snow, and it just turned into, and then it unthawed, and man, Ben Gum just ran all over Martinsburg that year.
Well, Jason, we're going to let you go and see if you can grab Coach Walker, and we'll take a break, reminding everyone our check of the playoff schedule has been a service of Kelly Allstate Insurance at 724 Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-4596. When we come back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, we'll go down to the end zone and hear from head coach David Walker. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
Back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time to go in the end zone and hear from head coach David Walker. The conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg. Jason.
Thanks. I'm joining with Coach. Coach, something special about playoff football on Saturdays, isn't there?
Yeah, it really is. Just a different feel to it. Of course, today, I don't know, I think we have more people come to watch us practice what's actually in the stands today.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with the weather. Coach, last week you guys were able to get off to a fast start. Coaches always talk about fast starts. How important is that as you continue your playoff run?
Well, I think it just depends on the team. I mean, I think if we could get off to a fast start today, it would be huge. But it's, the game's not won or lost in the first quarter either, so I just want to go out and play with some intensity. And right now I think we're a little flat, so hopefully we come out with a little more fire on us.
Coach, after a performance that you guys guys had last week and then playing a team you're familiar with, how hard is it to motivate players to get ready and make them realize that these games are going to get tougher as the playoffs go?
Well, we've had a good week of practice, and there's been a lot of intensity in practice, so I feel like in that regard, we're doing all right. But once the game starts, you hope that they're able to flip the switch and are able to play.
Obviously, Spring Mills went down and pulled up the upset. Were you able to see that they were doing something different? They've obviously been playing better since the last time you guys played them.
Yeah. I mean, they do what they do. It was a good game, close game. Could have went either way, but it was a big win for them. So they're riding off of that. So I'm sure that they're excited and they'll be ready to go.
Coach, what are some of the things you like to get established? Because again, like I said, you got to win this one, but also looking, keeping the players always getting better. What are you looking to establish today?
Well, if we can establish a run, it'll be good for us offensively, and defensively, just stop the run, make them have to throw the football to beat us, and I know they're going to take their shots. That's what they like to do. So hopefully, when the ball's in the air, we can come down with it a few times.
Coach, one of the things that's really helped you. I mean, you've been tough on defense, you've been tough on offense, but your special teams has been spectacular. Probably maybe some of the best special teams plays that you guys have had over the years. How special is that?
It's real special. I mean, it just takes pressure off of us offensively if we're able to score when we're on special teams.
Thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, thank you.
There you go, Matt. We got interrupted at the last question. The ball come flying and hit me, and Coach was trying to catch it at the same time.
And great job. Way to protect the broadcaster. Thank you, Coach Walker. Great job in the end zone, Jason and Coach. Their conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford. In the market for a new or used vehicle, check out their great selection online at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. Well, we'll send it back to the studio, and on the other side of this break, we'll get into our Coordinator's Corner. We'll hear first from Special Forces Coordinator Britt Sherman, then from Defensive Coordinator Buddy Hessen, and get their take on last week's opening round win against Preston and today's matchup against Spring Mills. This is the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show and West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now for our Coordinator's Corner, where we'll talk with the defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator, and it's brought to you by Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group, advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. They'll help you coordinate your future and retirement. Give them a call at 304-263-4343 or stop by their office at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We're starting with special teams. Britt Sherman, our guest as we get it started. And, Coach, what a way to start the playoffs with special teams. 5 touchdowns against Preston, just the way you drew it up.
Yeah, I guess you could say so. It was a good performance, and kids came out and played really well.
What was it that you saw maybe in their punting that allowed you to get to the football and block punts?
Well, I mean, you can time punters on film and see how long they can get the ball off and things like that. And, you know, what we do for our off-season training and stuff is we do a 20-yard time. And that's one of the reasons we do it. I try to time kids to see how fast they can run 20 yards. And usually those kids I try to put on a punt block team. And they took a little bit longer, you know, about 2.5 seconds to punt the ball. So we thought with getting through a couple blocks we could get there.
How much did the opening kickoff really set the tone for that game?
It was big. I mean, you know, those guys every year when we do that get pouty about being on that second level or even the first level. And I tell them, guys, we've had guys kick or return kicks on every level of that over the years. And so, you know, at the beginning of the year, Gerard and, you know, Josh Montalegre had a kick return and against Spring Mills the last time. And, you know, they start kicking it to the second level. And so I'm saying, okay, Anthony, Trey Sign, you guys are going to start getting your chance. And now that's 2 that Anthony's had a chance to return. So it's just big having those type of athletes, you know, on that level.
2 times now this season you've been able to score 5 special teams touchdowns, and the opponent that you see this week in Spring Mills was the other game where you did that. What do you maybe take out of that game into this one?
Well, you know, we did really well that game, and they tried to punt the ball really quick, so we got a lot of punt returns on them the last time. So they've changed their punt team up a little bit since then. It's kind of a little bit more like ours, so we'll see, you know, if they'll even punt it to us and be able to, you know, take advantage of anything they're doing.
Is that the frustrating part sometimes when you get in a game? You're coming off of one that you had against a team that you've already had success. How do you really prepare for what you may see when you figure they won't kick the football to you?
You just got to go off what they've done here the last couple of games and, you know, say, well, here's their base set. They could do this, they could do that. But, you know, with special teams, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you look across, you watch TV on Thursday nights, Friday nights, and Saturdays and Sundays. There's a lot of different special teams formations and plays that people could do. So really it's about endless what people could do. But, you know, you just try to coach kids up as to what they may see.
Is that the fun part, scheming all of that?
I enjoy it. Yeah, I really like it. It was one of those things that kind of developed for me being on scout team, you know, in college and seeing the different stuff.
Thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Matt.
Special Forces Coordinator Britt Sherman joining us here in our Coordinator's Corner. We'll talk defense after we hear this from Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We welcome you back into our Coordinator's Corner. Right now, a chance to talk with Defensive Coordinator Buddy Hessen, coming off of the shutout win against Preston in Week 1. You clearly overmatched them. How much do you take out of what you were able to do defensively from that game?
Not a whole lot. I mean, you never expect, you know, things to go the way they went. I mean, it was 21-0 before our offense even touched the ball, and you could tell. I mean, they were happy to be in the playoffs, but they were clearly overmatched. The one thing that I liked was our intensity. I mean, even from the younger guys when they're in there, something that I don't think we've really been very intense since basically the Salem game.
You mentioned some of those younger guys. You called up freshmen to get an opportunity to play in the postseason, really to practice probably more than anything. How big is it to get them in a game situation like you did Saturday?
I think it's big for them, you know, to be able to take part in, you know, a playoff game as a freshman. I mean, that doesn't normally happen, and you know, it helps. You know, they're out here, you know, they're getting extra weeks of practice, and people always say, yeah, "How you guys get so good?" Well, you know, all these years making the playoffs, freshmen come up, they're getting 4, you know, extra weeks of football every year.
You did have a pick 6 in the win against Preston. Talk to us about that particular play and what you're seeing from this secondary and linebacking core. You guys have picked off a ton of passes this year.
Well, I mean, we put them on an island. I mean, I'm a firm believer in man coverage, and So I mean, and I tell them every once in a while you're gonna get beat, but you got to have a short memory, because I'm not gonna give you a whole lot of help. But they've done a great job of being, going up and getting footballs.
Let's turn the page now and look ahead to Spring Mills, a matchup that you had in the regular season. Do you pull things out of that game and look at what you did defensively to help you this game?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things I'll take from it. They've changed what they do a little bit. I mean, seeing a lot of unbalanced sets from them, run the football a lot more. Don't get me wrong, Coach Williams, he likes to take his shots. He did in the first game. He's continued to take shots, but he hasn't done it as frequently. But, a team, they want to run the football, but we're taking away the run. We're going to make you one-dimensional, and our job, we're going to stop the run, and that's why I put a lot of pressure on my DBs to, man coverage, because I'm stopping the run first. So we'll see how that works.
Coach, we wish you the best. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Matt.
There you go, defensive coordinator Buddy Hessen joining us with our Coordinators Corner, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. They can help you coordinate your retirement and your future. Give them a call at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. This is West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices. We are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local. Why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
By defeating Greenbrier East last weekend by a score of 28-27.
We welcome you back in to Coburn Field along with Vic Holmes. I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick is on the sideline. Caleb Valero, our engineer at the studio. Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick are operating cameras. And Matt Crawford is our on-site producer. We'll get him on air from here at Coburn Field coming up at the half and in our post-game show as well. As we have high school playoff football here on the Division II college level. The Shepherd Rams are at IUP. That game kicked off at 12 noon, and it has gone to the half, and Shepherd owns a 14-7 lead, and the Rams will get the football to start the second half. We'll keep you updated on that one, keep you updated on the West Virginia Mountaineer game as well as the Musselman and Parkersburg South game. Vic, here, it's a mismatch, no doubt about it, when you look at that regular season matchup when Martinsburg beat Spring Mills 77-0, and in that game held the Cardinals to just 22 32 total yards of offense, -1 rushing, and 23 passing. An interesting statistic for this Cardinals team. While the record is 7-4, they've actually been outscored this season 288 to 201, meaning they're being outscored 26-18 per game. The big difference is in their wins, they've been tight victories, outscoring opponents 180 to 117, or getting the average victory by about a 26-17 final. In their 4 losses, they have been blown out, outscored 171 to 21, or an average of about 43 to 5.
Well, you can take a look at 2 of the teams. If you take Martinsburg out, which you can't, but if you took Martinsburg out of the equation and Musselman out of the equation, it's not that bad. But the bad part is they're playing Martinsburg, so that makes the difference. That the makeup, falls in line. But, one of the things is how many wins do you have? And that's the bottom line. If you can get into the playoff picture with 4 wins, which we have about 4 teams in the playoffs now that had 4 wins, then obviously you haven't beaten very many good teams, and so therefore you don't get many bonus points. So therefore, again, you're not that good a football team. But, thank goodness for them. The opportunity has come along. They were better than a 4-6 team, and, we feel thankful that we have another Eastern Panhandle team in the playoffs. But again, we're talking about a different animal here with Martinsburg, because they have so many weapons, offensively, defensively, and how many teams can say has the special teams that this team has shown. We've seen 2 ball games this year, 1 during the regular season, also 1 during the playoffs, that has scored 5 touchdowns in each one of those games on special teams. So you've got to find a way to keep the ball away from them.
Yep.
Eventually, you got to give it up. And they have been giving it up, and Martinsburg has scored off of you giving it up, punting it away, kickoffs. It's been really, really difficult for people to contain this team.
You look at some of the numbers for Spring Mills offensively, averaging about 253 yards a game, 155 on the ground and about 98 through the air, giving up about 231 a contest, about 66 through the air, but giving up about 166 on the ground. That's going to be the hard test today, is controlling this Martinsburg rushing attack.
Yeah, controlling the rushing attack, and also the fact that they can throw the football so well and so often. They can throw the ball deep. Obviously you got to cover that speed of those 4 guys out there who can run deep patterns. Not only those 4 starters out there, he can bring guys off the bench, and there's not a whole lot of drop-off bringing guys in off the bench who can run those deep patterns as well. They throw also a lot of what we call little bubble screens, little slant patterns, and once those guys catch the ball, they're like running backs out there in the back in the secondary, and now you've got to try to track them down. So again, a lot of potential offensively for Martinsburg.
One other thing to keep an eye on for Spring Mills, cannot afford turnovers. When these teams met in the regular season, Spring Mills committed 3 turnovers while taking just 1 back from the Bulldogs. On the season, Spring Mills even 16 turnovers forced and 16 turnovers that they have given away. They've got to make sure they win that battle today as well.
Yeah, they most certainly do. And, it's sad to say that you go in a football game and you hear coaches say this, we can't make any mistakes. Well, that's almost impossible. You're going to make some mistakes. But you hope you don't make the big mistakes of, dropping the ball, fumbling the ball, or throwing interceptions deep in your own territory. At best, hopefully, again, you look at last week's football game, Martinsburg blocking about 2 or 3 punts and 2 of them for scores. You're in a situation they probably could have blocked more, but they quit coming on the blocks, and so therefore you've got to get the kicks off. You got to be able to then cover them after you kick them. So there's a lot you got to look at here if you're Spring Mills.
There you go, just a little look at the Cardinals, who are the 9 seed coming in at 7-4, facing the 11-0 and top seed Martinsburg Bulldogs on this chilly Saturday afternoon. We're going to hear from second-year head coach Chad Williams of the Cardinals after we take this time out. We're back with more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
And we welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's time now to hear from Spring Mill's second-year head coach, Chad Williams. The Cardinals coming off the program's first-ever playoff victory, 28-27 at Greenbrier East last weekend. We get it started as we talked with Coach Williams about his team's tough schedule and their tight victories and how they helped in that playoff opener.
Really, in our 7 wins this year, won 6 of them. The last time we got the ball, we still had to execute a drive. And, and I'm proud of our guys that we managed to do that 6 out of 6 times. The blocked extra point by JB was huge. And he and Bernard both came through with some huge plays for us through that game. But at the end of the game, had that extra point not been blocked, I'd still like to think we would have scored again. Because, we had made it down to the red zone with a little over 2 minutes to go before we decided to hit a knee. But, it was just, these guys have learned over time how to really execute in the fourth quarter, even when things start going against them.
Take us to that blocked PAT, and then you had to make a defensive stand after that as well. How'd you kind of dial all that up?
The blocked PAT was just really nothing more than telling JB to go get it. It was the same design of a field goal block as we had run on the 3 previous ones in that game. Sometimes it's just about digging a little deeper, which is sometimes hard to do right after you give up the touchdown. We just kind of yelled out there and told JB to go block it, and sure enough he did. And he had just barely missed one earlier in the game. He had just barely missed on one that he could have blocked, which is why we felt like with just a little bit extra encouragement and effort that he'd get that one, and he did.
A familiar opponent coming up in round 2. What do you take away from your regular season game against Martinsburg going into this Saturday's game?
I don't really take much of anything away from the regular season game. We're a different team now. I think we're playing much better. We've definitely played our best football since that game. And really played our best football of the year in the last 3 weeks. So I'm just, I'm hoping you're going to see an improved team out there. Obviously you're going to see a better version of Martinsburg because you're going to see, a second round of the playoffs version of them. I'm not focused in at all on the first time we played. Don't really want anybody else to be. We're going to have to play a second round playoff game, and that's the way I see it. Not focusing on who we're playing or the fact that we've played them before. Just going out to play that second round playoff game.
When you talk about the development and the growth of your team, are there particular areas, I guess I'm looking at, where you would say, we're a much different team now than then?
Yeah. We were still at that point trying to find our identity. Everything that really that I'd planned in the off season, schematics wise, especially offensively, but a little bit defensively too, had kind of been thrown out the window at that point, and we were still in that mode where we were kind of experimenting with something new from game to game. I really think it was the next game against Albert Gallatin when we started to define our identity a little bit, and we've continued to develop that a little bit more each week, and really have gotten better every week since we started defining that identity.
Chose the Friday night game slot last week, and this week you're going with the Saturday afternoon. What went into that decision?
These kids have never done it before. I know, I've had people ask me, did you do that to throw Martinsburg off? Like, no, my kids have never done it. Their kids have all done it at least 10 times. They're seniors. They've been doing it since they were freshmen all the way up to the state championship game, playing on Saturday afternoons. I'd say Dave's probably played at least 50 Saturday afternoon games. It has nothing to do with the opponent. It's more about getting my kids the experience. I think, as we're trying to grow and develop as a program, now that we've got that first playoff win under our belt, I think the next goal becomes trying to become a team that has home games. And, in my experience, from my previous stop at East Hardy, when you're up in the Eastern Panhandle, very far away from people, nearly every home game I had there, the team I was playing chose to play Saturday at 1:30. I'm not a big fan of traveling to play Saturday at 1:30, but since we have that opportunity to play at that time and get a taste of that, but still get to sleep in our own beds the night before the game, I thought this was a perfect time to take advantage of getting to play in that atmosphere. And if you ever do make it to Wheeling, obviously it helps you to play in that time slot as well, because that's when you're going to be playing the championship game.
And that is Spring Mills head coach Chad Williams. We'll continue to preview today's quarterfinal round playoff matchup with Spring Mills visiting Martinsburg as we continue on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
Back again here at Coburn Field, continuing with the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Vic, let's quickly jump into Keys to the Game, brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home. For all of your real estate legal needs, call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. I believe before we get into the national anthem, let's at least get in for Spring Mills.
Well, I think Spring Mills, you've got to be as close to as being perfect as possible. You can't afford to make mistakes. You've got to use some good common sense. Fourth down and 2 or whatever you at midfield, you got to punt the football away. You got to do those types of things. Make the field as long as possible for Martinsburg. Hold on to the football as long as you possibly can. You got to try to get into maybe some fourth and short and get into Martinsburg territory. But again, you have to play a nearly as perfect game as you possibly can offensively and defensively without mistakes.
Which is obviously a big task facing a Martinsburg team that comes in outscoring their opponents on average of 60-7 per game. We'll talk about those Martinsburg keys to the game after we pause for the playing of the national anthem. Here's the Martinsburg High School Marching Band. There you go, the Martinsburg High Marching Band with our national anthem, the Junior ROTC, presenting the colors, and we are getting ever closer to the opening kick in today's quarterfinal round matchup with Martinsburg hosting Spring Mills. Vic, let's wrap up our keys to the game as we turn to the Martinsburg Bulldogs, coming off an 84-0 win over Preston last week, having already defeated this Spring Mills team by a 77-0 score in the regular season. Obviously, one key is just to come out here and play focused.
Yeah, exactly, and we've seen that all all year long. We've seen this team come out first game of the season, clear up to the 11th game of the season, and they have been focused. They've come out, they've done what they have normally do, and that is come out and play with intensity. We have not seen, Matt, we can probably count on one hand a number of bad series they've had during the course of the year. So, as I usually say, Martinsburg being Martinsburg, just do what you normally do, and I think everything will take care of itself.
Keys to the game brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC, locally owned. They know the business and they're part of the community. You'll win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by calling 304-267-3050. Back with a look at our starting lineups after this 2-minute timeout. It's West Virginia High School playoff football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game.
Let's go. Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood. Berkeley at Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at mymillerhonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting your tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WVU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Here at Coburn Field, time to take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto. Get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Phone 304-267-4078. Reached out to Spring Mills, did not get an official starting lineup heading into this one. We do know Chase Henson will get the start at quarterback. Beyond that, we'll wait and see as they line up for this one today. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Elijah Banks is the starting quarterback. Naeem Kearney will join him in the backfield. The wideouts are Gerard Bowie, Teddy Marshall, Malachi Brown, and Anthony Smith. Terrell Good and Matt Bednarski are the tackles. Michael Turner and Ty Lucas are the guards. And Jacob Zittel is the center. Defensively for the Bulldogs, Bednarski and Good are defensive ends with Ty Lucas as the nose guard. Look for Braxton Todd as a linebacker along with Bryce Morris, Quentin Brown, Trey Sine, and Malachi Brown. Teddy Marshall and Gerard Bowie will be, Teddy Marshall and Dorn Smith, will be corners. Anthony Smith will be the free safety. Lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Give D&N a call at 304-267-4078. Caleb, just a quick note, back at the studio. Hang on to the 30-second break. We'll make that a part of our first timeout as we get action underway. The captains have met, and we're just about ready for the opening kick. Spring Mills will get the football to get the game started. Our opening kick is brought to you by Davis Designs. They remind you first impressions mean a lot. Personal and business signs, vehicle wraps from mild to wild. Let Tom take care of all your signage needs. Davis Designs, 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Check them out on Facebook or phone them at 304-267-7800. 07. Let's check in with Jason down on the sidelines as we get ready for the opening kick.
The officiating crew that we have is out of the Mason-Dixon Association, which is over in Clarksburg, very similar to what was at the Musselman game. The winds are picked up down here and it's cold, but the crowd is actually starting to fill in a little bit, so not too bad.
Sideline reports throughout the game brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more at folk4wv.com. Chris Catlett has the ball on the tee at the 40 along the far side hash mark. He approaches, gets away a high end-over-end kick, coming down to the return man inside the 10, bounces off his hands, is still free. He'll pick it up at the 6-yard line, quickly gets snowed under, loses the football. It's free at the 1-yard line, and Martinsburg will recover. That looks to be Dorn Smith, who was able to jump on that loose football. Yes, Smith able to recover as it bounced in and out of the hands of Jacob Barrick. I believe that was a 2-6 who was trying to handle that one back inside the 10-yard line.
Well, as I said before, what a nightmarish start already for Spring Mills. He didn't want to make any major mistakes, and this is about as major as you can get, the opening kickoff.
9 seconds in, and Martinsburg takes over after the turnover. Power eye to the left, handoff going to the tailback and getting in the end zone. It is Naeem Kearney. Followed those blocks off the left side, got tripped up right at the 1, but falling forward, ends up in the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
What a gift to start the football game. This is probably the least thing that you, if you're a Spring Mills fan, you want to have happen is make a mistake early in the ball game, especially on a kickoff.
11:46 to play here in quarter number 1. Catlett on for the extra point, and they'll run a little fake. There's a pitch in the backfield, and very quickly the man that took that pitch gets snowed under. The snap went back to Trenton Sherman. He gave the little pitch to Braxton Todd. Todd was looking to sweep to his left and maybe throw for the end zone. The 2-point conversion fails, but with 11:46 remaining in our opening quarter, we take a 30-second break with Martinsburg out in front, 6-0.
West Virginia's a Republican state, so why elect a worn-out tax-raising Joe Manchin retread instead of a real Republican like Michael Folk? Mike Folk's the strong pro-Trump conservative who will ban sanctuary cities, stop red flag gun laws, rebuild our roads, and stop higher taxes. Justice and Thrasher, 2 worn-out tax-raising Manchin retreads. They've blown their chance. Mike Folk for governor. It's time for a change. Time for a conservative change. Mike Folk, governor.
The drive summary for Martinsburg brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. 1 play and 1 yard for the Bulldog touchdown. The ensuing kickoff popped up along the near side hash mark, pulled in at the 40-yard line by Colin Gates. Gates is listed as a freshman, goes 5'8" and about 160, and Spring Mills will have it at their own 40-yard line, down 6-0. See if they can get something going offensively. Good field position after that popped-up kick from Catlett. 11:46 remaining here in our opening quarter. Henson taking that shotgun snap. Quarterback keeper off the left side of the line. Quickly grabbed and taken down as he got right back to the line of scrimmage. No place to go that time for Chase Henson. He is not only the quarterback, but he is the leading rusher. 185 carries, 932 yards, and 11 rushing touchdowns coming in.
Well, he wants to test that interior of Martinsburg, and that's going to be a tough task here. I think that this team, if they have any, we'll get to that in just a second here as they come out of the huddle.
Tailback to the right side of the quarterback. Henson looking to that far sideline. And now a timeout for Spring Mills. That is Aiden Smoot out there as the tailback. Head coach Chad Williams burns an early timeout.
Yeah, here's another mistake, a timeout. You got to call a timeout in your second offensive play of the game, down 6-0 already. But if this team has any trick plays, if we call them, or special plays that they put in, this is probably the series to do it, to try they have to try everything they possibly can and try it early in the ball game to get on the board, because if you get behind 2 scores or more, it's going to be a tough task, uphill battle against this Martinsburg defense. So let's see what happens here. You know, it's not a situation in which you as a coach want to call a timeout, your second offensive play of the game, after you just fumbled the kickoff. 11:14 to go, first quarter, 6-0. Second and 10.
Well, Smoot is back out there as the tailback, and it looks like lining up in front of him will be Jacob Martin as a fullback. Power pistol to the left, and Martinsburg jumps offside.
There's one of your little wrinkles right there. Try that hard count, and that's going to work once, maybe twice in the ball game, but that's not going to win a game for you. But that's something that you need to do, again, is to slow down that charge up front.
Now the Shepherd Rams have scored a touchdown to open the second half up at IUP, 21-7. Shepherd in front in the Division II football playoffs. On 2nd and 5 from their own 45, Henson on the controlled roll near side, looks downfield and eventually turns upfield and takes a huge hit on the sideline. One of the big fellas coming over. That's Ty Lucas, our first candidate for the collision of the game. Jason, what did it sound like from down on the sidelines?
That sounded like one heck of a hit. I mean, he was looking for the pass, took off the run, and the defender was there, and that was a huge hit.
That is a loss of a yard. Mark that one on the scoring sheet. Collision of the game for Ty Lucas.
Well, you got a big guy like that running sideline to sideline making tackles. That's kind of scary. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
From their own 44-yard line, Henson wants to throw a screen, and the pass batted down and incomplete as Matthew Bednarski got a hand up in the air to swat that pass away as they were looking to set up the screen.
Well, I'm sure Bednarski's eyes got real big. And remember, he scored a touchdown last week. So he thought the possibility of maybe getting that after he tipped it in the air, of getting the interception. So that's going to bring up a 4th down situation, 4th and 6. And looks like they're huddling.
Right now they are huddling as if they would go for it. Chase Henson just came from the far sideline to the huddle, pardon me. They break that huddle.
Let me say it right now. This is the part that I don't like. Trying to go for it in this situation.
Henson going to drop back. He does want to throw. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Hit and sacked on the play by the Bulldog linebacker. That's Braxton Todd, who will get the sack back at about the 37-yard line.
Well, I'm not second-guessing myself, because before the snap, as I said before, these are the type things that you have to punt the football away. You got to make Martinsburg go the length of the field as far as you possibly can, not take a chance there. You're not going to win or lose the ball game, definitely not going to win the ball game, picking up a 1st down in that situation to give yourself a little better chance. 10:52 to go, first quarter, 1st and 10, Martinsburg.
Back to throw is Banks, going to loft it deep down the middle as an open receiver at the 5-yard line. Making that grab is Anthony Smith, and he steps into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Had a step on Bernard Newman, the defensive back, and that was too easy.
Well, Banks just laid it out there. It was like pitch and catch that time. He was about 3 or 4 yards past the defender. Just an easy throw on a post pattern down the middle of the field. Make it 12-0. Let's see if Martinsburg goes for 2 here, because they missed the first extra point, and they will. They'll line up in the twins to left, twins right. Two receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, 1 back set.
Naim Kearney will be that back. Everyone looks at the wristbands, make sure they've got the right play. Gerard Bowie is a slot receiver to the left, now steps up to the line. It is an inside slant, and the catch made by Teddy Marshall. A quick slant to the outside receiver here on this left side as he cut in behind the slot receiver Gerard Bowie, who had cut out. 10:44 to play. Quarter number 1, back in 60 with Martinsburg in front, 14-0.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
The ensuing kickoff deep along the near side, leaping up Zylan Williams, had to go off his hand and bounce into the end zone where he picks it up, and it'll be a touchback, and Spring Mills will have the football at their own 20, 10:41 to play here in quarter number 1. Second offensive possession for Spring Mills, already down by a 14-0 score. Drive summary on that last series for Martinsburg. After making the stop on 4th down, well, one play, 5 seconds. It covered 37 yards on the pass play, going from Banks to Anthony Smith. On 1st down, looks like Bernard Newman now out there as a tailback, lining up to the right side of the quarterback. Henson takes that snap, hands it off. Newman to his left, able to get out to the 25-yard line. Anthony Smith, the free safety, with a pretty good hit on him, bringing him down after that 5-yard gain.
Well, Anthony Smith on a big hit that time, coming across field. But a good gain that time, at least able to pick up about 4 yards, almost 5 yards. We'll call it 5. 10 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. 14-0, Martinsburg leads it. And again, you're in a situation where if you're Spring Mills, you've got to get something here on 2nd down and make it a reasonable 3rd down situation that you can pick up a first and continue to control the offense.
Handoff once again to Newman. Looks like he wants to throw and does throw back over the middle and into the back of the Bulldog defender. It hit Anthony Smith in the back as he was closing in on the intended target, Jacob McCarron.
Well, that time we just talked about it just a few minutes ago about the fact that if you have any trick plays, if you have any new plays you want to put in, this is the time to do it, because you got to try to get back into the ball game as quickly as you can so you can stay in the game. So, good opportunity, good situation, just not a good throw.
They had the receiver behind the defender, but could not get it to him. Newman now goes out of the backfield. That's 3 receivers to the far side. Henson to throw. Hits Newman, who catches, steps out of bounds along that far sideline at the 33-yard line. That gain good for about 8 and a 1st down.
1st down.
And that's what you do. You take what they give you, and Martinsburg's not going to give you a whole lot. Then that was a good situation there. Nice roll to the left and throwing by the quarterback, going to his left, getting the throw out there, picking up the 1st down. 9:51, quarter number 1.
That keeps this drive alive. They keep moving with the football down 14-0. 9:51 on a stopped first quarter clock. Henson out of the gun with a back to his right side. Straight quarterback draw and right up the gut. Keeps the legs churning, pushes his way forward. Eventually, they blow it dead. Martinsburg never really brought him down. The play will get stopped out at the 37-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 yards. That was Bryce Morris helping to lead the charge defensively for the Bulldogs.
2nd and 6.
So that gain of 4 sets up a 2nd and 6. And for starting quarterback Chase Henson, 5'10", 180-pound junior, now unofficially 4 carries, -4 yards so far in this first half, including being sacked for a loss of 7. Henson wants to throw, quickly lets it go, and Barick juggling the football, takes a big hit. Down he goes. Malachi Brown with that hit. It was Anthony Smith trailing him on the play.
We saw Malachi Brown make some hits last week as well. There's another big hit right there to free him from the football. That'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down and 6 from their own 37-yard line. 9:06 to go, quarter number 1. It's 14-0 Martinsburg. Here's another tough situation here. Spring Mills has the football, but again, that could have been another 45 seconds run off the clock, but incomplete pass stops the clock.
Barick, the tight end, the intended target on that last pass. It's a double tight end set right now. 2 receivers out to that far side, a back to the left of the quarterback. Straight draw for Henson. He busts through a little seam and gets to the 40-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards, but it will bring up a 4th down and 3.
Well, you got to hold your breath here. It's 4th down coming up. It looks like, again, they're going to go for it here.
Yep, Henson going to the sideline, getting the play call. Well, again, you had the 4 punt return touchdowns against you in the regular season. I guess maybe you're feeling like you got as good a shot to go for it as you do to try to punt it to the Bulldogs. Henson awaiting that shotgun snap, and now let's see what we're going to get. And I think we'll have procedure against Spring Mills.
So that's a 5-yard penalty. Now I think you almost feel like you almost have to punt it here, but they feel probably desperate. They're going to go for it anyway, it looks like. So they don't change any personnel, so they go back to huddle.
It'll bring up what would now be a 4th down and about 8. Football back at their own 35-yard line. So on 4th down and 8, Henson awaits that snap. Now he takes another step back. This may be one of those pooch punts.
Yes.
Nope. The center never snapped the football. I was going to say, we were waiting. What was going on? There were linemen jumping, guys moving downfield, the quarterback holding still. The center never snapped the football. Another false start.
On the Cardinals, moving it
A pair of penalties, 10 yards now on Spring Mills. It'll move it back to the 30-yard line. And instead of 4th and 8, we'll bring up about a 4th and 13. And you got to imagine Henson's going to try to pooch this one out of there. And Martinsburg expecting that since Gerard Bowie back. There is the snap and the punt. A high floater angling far side. It is going to bounce in Spring Mills territory, take a hop across that midfield stripe, and will be touched dead by the Cardinals. Martinsburg will have it at their own 47. So the punt going to cover roughly 23 yards with no return, and Martinsburg will have it for their 3rd offensive possession.
Well, I think on the initial play before the first penalty, I thought maybe they would possibly go for it there and go ahead and pooch it on that one. They had no one back, but they were actually going to go for it on that 4th down situation. So gives Martinsburg good field position again. 7:35 to go here, still in the first quarter. 14-0, they lead it.
From their own 47, handoff Naeem Kearney, looking for running room here to the near side. Nice blocks as he gets to the 40-yard line of Spring Mills along the sideline. Forced out of bounds just shy of the 35. There to help force him out was Zylan Williams, a senior defensive back. They'll set it down at the 37 of the Cardinals.
Well, technically, you look at him running the football on that play. He's got the ball in the wrong arm. He's got it in his right arm, and but he had it really, really tight. You could see it. I mean, he really had that ball tight. A lot of times guys will try to switch hands and get it to the outside arm where it should be, but sometimes that's when they get hit and lose the football. So smart move there.
Gain of 16, sets up 1st and 10. Screen pass far side, caught by Teddy Marshall. Eludes a tackler at the 25, stays inbounds on the far sideline, down inside the 5, dragging a tackler to the goal line, and they're going to mark him down just shy of getting into the end zone. Teddy Marshall takes it to the 1.
That's a nice run after the catch that time. Also, another nice block out there by number 1, Gerard Bowie, to free him out there on the corner, so it'll bring up a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Actually, it's going to be probably inside of the 1.
And Martinsburg looking to take the early 3-touchdown lead. They'll go back again to that power I to the left. Out from under center, Banks bobbled the football, dropped it, and it will be picked up by Trey Sign, and Sign will get to the goal line. He's in. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
That was a late signal by the official.
Yeah.
He was already in. He was laying on the ground waiting for somebody to give a signal, but 3/4 of his body was across the goal line, so that'll run the score up to 20-0 with the extra point coming up.
So Trey Sign will get credit for the 1-yard touchdown run. We'll check in with Jason down on the sideline in just a moment. Chris Catlett on for the ensuing extra point. Trenton Sherman, the holder. There is the snap, the placement, kick on the way, and it is good. 7:04 remaining here in quarter number 1. We take a 60-second break with Martinsburg out in front, 21-0.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices, we are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
The ensuing kickoff coming down to Zylan Williams at the near side 5. He fumbles the football, picks it up, and very quickly gets snowed under. No place to go after bobbling that one and dropping it to the ground. And Spring Mills will start inside their own 10. Last drive for the Bulldogs. 3 plays, 53 yards, took 31 seconds. It was a 1-yard touchdown run as Trey Sign picked up the fumbled snap and took it in for the score. Scoring summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. 21-0. Martinsburg out in front. 6 minutes, 57 seconds left. Still here in quarter number 1.
Another one of those mistakes we talked about there.
From their own 9-yard line on 1st and 10, Henson caught from behind, taken down at the 5-yard line. I believe that's Braxton Todd, and it is, who quickly came around the left side of the defense, the right side of the offense, and brings him down for a loss of 4.
Well, they had everybody blocked on that play except for Todd, and he was the guy who made the tackle. They were trying to go deep. They had 2 receivers to the far side.
Oklahoma State 7.
Winterstan Musselman has a 7-0 lead over the Patriots down at Parkersburg South.
And the Mountaineers still lead 10-7.
West Virginia still with a 21-7 lead up at IUP. Handoff going to Newman as the tailback. Running room off the left side of the line. He's going to take it out to about the 6, maybe the 7. We'll call it a gain of 2, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 12.
Make that a Shepherd lead at 21-7.
I'm sorry, Shepherd 21-7 at IUP.
3rd down 12.
So set the football down at the 7-yard line. 3rd down and 12 coming right now. Spring Mills 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. Looks like it might be Smoot back out there as the tailback to the right side of the quarterback. There is the snap back. Henson on the controlled roll here to the near side. Going to let that pass go. And bobbled, almost intercepted. Anthony Smith read it the whole way. Stepped in front of the intended target. That was Bernard Newman. But unable to come up with an Anthony Smith. He had a pick 6 if he hangs on.
Oh, yes, he did. He could have walked into the end zone on that play.
With the incompletion, brings up 4th down. And the punting unit will have to come on this time. Looks like it will be Newman who will do the punting. Last week he had a couple of punts averaged about 37 yards.
I think I'd have been working on a little bit of a rugby punt, something during practice or something to try to keep the ball and get it on the ground as quickly as possible against this team. Here's a fake.
Oh my goodness, he had to run with it as he was pressured, and only gets out to the 6-yard line. Great pressure up inside. I believe that's Kreider who was able to block and recover one last week. Yep, Aiden Kreider who put that pressure on. Newman couldn't get the kick out, decided to run, and down he goes at the 5.
Well, I thought it was just going to be a fake, but Kreider comes around the end untouched. You know, unbelievable. He was totally untouched that time. So with 5:21 to go here in the first quarter, 21-0, Martinsburg gets the football again. Again, we talked about the mistakes. You can't make mistakes. You got to play a near perfect game, and so far Martinsburg's been given pretty much everything they've gotten.
Yeah, very short field one more time for the Bulldogs. Banks out of the gun, taking the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it, follows his line right into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. They ran that one to perfection. It was Matthew Bednarski helping to lead the way, getting Banks in for the 5-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, you're right. Bednarski actually was the lead blocker on that one. He's still looking for somebody to block. There was just no one there.
The Bulldogs have yet to have the football for a full minute of offensive possession and have already put 4 touchdowns on the board. Trenton Sherman awaiting the snap. It is back, placement and the kick. It is up and it is through. Again, we take a 60-second break with 5 minutes, 13 seconds to play in quarter number 1, and Martinsburg out in front now, 28-0.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
And the ensuing kickoff coming down along the near side at about the 5-yard line, and I believe that's Newman on the return, and his feet slipping out from underneath of him as he went to make a cut at about the 12-yard line. Started to his left towards the middle of the field, tried to cut back to his right when his feet went down. Well, let's take a look at the drive summary for Martinsburg, brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance. Another one of those short drives. One play, 5 yards, a 5-yard touchdown run for Elijah Banks, 28-0 Martinsburg. Again, the Bulldogs have not had the football for a full minute of offensive possession and already have 4 touchdowns. 5:09 to play, quarter number 1. Spring Mills going to keep it on the ground on 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Getting it out to about the 16-yard line is Aiden Smoot. Smoot is their second leading rusher, 73 carries, 308 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown on the season.
Well, I'm sure Spring Mills is waiting to get some positive, something going on offensively here. I think they have one first down thus far.
1 first down.
So they've got to get something together here offensively.
On 2nd down and 7, give again is to Smoot. Met right in the hole, keeps those legs churning. Able to break through and get out to the 20-yard line. Trey Sign hanging on to his ankles. Able to eventually bring him down after that pickup of 4.
Hey, give credit that time. He probably had about a 2-yard gain. He ended up getting maybe another 3 or 4 after that. But keeping his legs going, as you were saying, and that offensive line staying on the block. So here we go again, another big 3rd down, 3rd and 4.
Now, this one's a manageable one. See if they can keep this drive going. Smoot again to the right side of the quarterback as Chase Henson awaits that shotgun snap. 2 receivers out to his left side. He looks over towards the sideline. Coach Williams sending in that play. It's going to be that quarterback draw. No place to go. Another candidate for the collision of the game as both Good and Lucas, Ty Lucas and Terrell Good combined to make that stop.
Oh, that was a tough one. He had some room to run had he broke the line of scrimmage there, but those guys just all of a sudden just met him right there at the line and took him down very quickly.
Virtually no gain on the play.
And here we go. We got a 4th down again, 4th and 4, and at their own 20-yard line, they're going to go for it here. So it just shows you how much confidence they have in their punt defense.
There is the snap back. Henson drops it, picks it up, no place to go, and down he will go. Malachi Brown helping to really put on the pressure. Looks like Tanner Lucas, both in there on that stop. Bednarski good, the entire defensive front line, and that stop will come at about the 18-yard line.
I'm not sure what they were going to do on that. Could you read whether or not he was going to punt or quick kick?
I think he might have been looking to quick kick until he dropped that football. That's my thought anyway. 2:59 to play, quarter number 1. Martinsburg again taking over in great field position at the 18-yard line. Handoff on an end around to Gerard Bowie, moving from right to left, gets to the near sideline, avoids the tackler, stays in bounds, and then gets taken out at the 1-yard line.
No, he was taken out there. Basically, he was taken out by one of his own players. He ran into Malachi Brown and just ran out of room there. 2 minutes, 51 seconds to go here in the first quarter, a long first quarter. 28-0, Martinsburg leads it, and they'll have a first and goal at the Spring Mills 1-yard line.
That last gain good for 17 yards. First carry for Gerard Bowie. We've seen that throughout the course of the year with that jet sweep or end around, whatever you may want to call it, where he comes in motion and takes the handoff. Kevon Warren out there now as a tailback to the left of the quarterback, and there's the screen near side, caught by Malachi Brown, steps into the end zone untouched for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Malachi Brown pulls that one in, and Martinsburg once again strikes very quickly.
Boy, that one looked pretty easy that time. He just kind of walked in the end zone. The ball was on the 1-yard line, so he didn't have far to go. But the point was that there was no contention defensively there.
That drive takes all of 10 seconds. And Martinsburg again in the end zone.
The holder is Trayton Sherman.
Chris Catlett for the PAT. There's the snap and the placement. That one is up and it is through. 2:49 to play, quarter number 1. A 60-second break, and then we're back to Coburn Field with Martinsburg leading 35-0.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WVU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Catlett with the ensuing kickoff, taken by Newman along the near side, down around the 6-yard line, working to the middle of the field with a nice return, moves up across the 25 and gets taken down out at the 28-yard line. Scoring drive brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Last drive for the Bulldogs, 2 plays, 18 yards, took 10 seconds, 1 yard on the touchdown pass from Banks to Malachi Brown. 35-0 Martinsburg.
Good return by Newman that time. One of the few times they've been able to catch it cleanly and get some fairly decent blocking up there. 2:41 go, first quarter. 35-0. Spring Mills with the ball at their own 31.
On first down and 10, little play action there as Henson put it in the belly of his tailback Newman, then pulled it out, and no place to go for Chase Henson. Met at the line of scrimmage and driven down.
Bednarski on the hit initially, and Ty Lucas also on the assist.
It's been tough going right now for the quarterback. 9 carries minus 6 yards, the unofficial total.
Second down.
Well, you just have a defensive front that's just simply controlling the line of scrimmage here. That's all we can say, pretty much.
On second down, Henson out of the gun, awaits the snap, and there's movement by the offensive front. Illegal procedure. That'll be the 3rd procedure penalty against the Spring Mills in this opening quarter. 3 penalties for 15 yards. It's going to move it back to about the 24-yard line.
And this is what we talked about, again, those mistakes. 5-yard penalties for this team is like a 15-yard penalty to any other team against a defense like Martinsburg. It's hard to recover that 5 yards.
Second down and 15 now. Aiden Smoot to the left of the quarterback. Henson again will await that snap. He's got 3 receivers here to the wide side right. Throws the receiver screen. Catch is made. That's McCarron quickly bottled up and taken down at the 25-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain. Braxton Todd right there. Morris and Sign as well. 3 linebackers helping to converge to bring down Jacob McCarron.
Well, actually, there's going to be no gain on that one where they spot it.
Whoa. Didn't even get the 25.
No, he didn't. You know, that's the sad part about it is that was a pretty good play. The ball just, didn't get out there quite quick enough, but at the same time, the defense was just on him, as soon as he caught the football. It's a good recovery. There's a lot of speed out there on the corners from Martinsburg.
3 receivers again to the wide side of the field. This time it's the left of the formation. They'll look to set up the screen. It's caught by Newman with a blocker out in front. Newman into open territory and tackled nicely by Anthony Smith, the Bulldog free safety at the 35, but we do have a penalty marker down behind the play back at the 22-yard line.
There is a flag on the play.
Wait and see what that will be.
I think we're going to have a personal foul against Martinsburg. Yeah, face mask.
So a personal foul face mask that will come at the end of that play. And it looks like they'll mark it from the 35 out to about the 50. No, they'll mark it from the 36 into Martinsburg territory to the Bulldog 49.
First and 10 Cardinals.
So that'll be their second first down.
So they do pick up 12 yards on the pass play and then the 15 yards on the penalty. They get their second first down and it becomes a 1st and 10. Second penalty for Martinsburg, now penalized twice for 20 yards. Back to throw, Henson deep along that far side and knocked away at the last minute by Teddy Marshall. Pass slightly underthrown, trying to get it to Zylan Williams along that far sideline.
Williams with pretty good speed that time. Actually had a step on him there. Had the ball been laid out there a little bit better, but again, good closing speed there for Martinsburg. 19 seconds to go to first quarter. Just tuning in, 35-0 to score. Spring Mills having some problems keeping their offense on the field. They only have 2 first downs thus far. And the second one was on a penalty, due to a penalty.
Yeah, they have punted just once. They have gone for it 3 other times. 0 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Handoff to the tailback on 2nd and 10 from that Bulldog 49. He is very quickly hit and driven backwards, waiting for the number. I believe that's Newman on the carry, and it is. We'll give him credit for 1 yard down to the 48, and a 3rd and 9 is facing Spring Mills.
Trey Son and Bryce Moore on the tackle, which will end the first quarter.
So there you go, quarter number 1 in the books, and it has been all Martinsburg in this quarterfinal round matchup. We're back in 60 seconds with the Bulldogs leading 35-0.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller, Jason Colrick on the sideline. Matt Crawford, our on-site producer, with Caleb Valero at the studio. Zach Van Meter, Eric Sterick running cameras today. Quarter number 2 getting underway with Spring Mills facing a 3rd and 9 from the Bulldog 48-yard line. And I think we're going to have procedure.
Procedure again against Spring Mills.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay on the snap. And that 5-yard penalty is going to cost them. That will be the 4th illegal procedure penalty that they have had. In fact, all of their penalties, 4 for 20 yards, have been on that procedure.
You know, the bad part about it, Matt, is the procedure on that. It's on the first count.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't any reason, and when you hear the first count, you go. You shouldn't be going before the first count.
So 3rd down and roughly 14 yards to go now for a first from their own 48-yard line. And back to throw. That's a new quarterback out there and trying to get rid of it, and eventually doing so. Jalen Burton got it to Newman in the flat on that right side, but he's still going to lose yardage as he fights across the 40 and back out close to the 45-yard line, where it ends up being a loss of 2.
In the backfield.
Well, I'll tell you, they got a real break that time because it was near sack in the backfield. He did get rid of it and get it out there. Let's see what happens here with Spring Mills. Are they going to line up in a conventional punting situation and punt it away? Looks like they may be doing that this time.
Yeah, Newman is going back, and it looks like he will try to get the punt out of there. Had run for 23 yards earlier, although he seems like he may be a little shaken up after receiving that last pass. He gets the punt out of there. Going to take a skip and go by Gerard Bowie. He wanted to pick it up, but was able to stay out of the way, and it takes a nice Spring Mills roll along the near side numbers all the way down inside of the 5 to the 4, and I think they're going to mark it down at about the 3-yard line. Wow, that's a nice punt that covers 52 yards with the roll. That'll be a new season long for the punter Bernard Newman, and with 10:54 to play in our opening half, Martinsburg takes over. By far the deepest field position.
I think in the first quarter you got to punt the football away. You got to be afraid of returns, yeah. But if you kick ugly kicks like that, they hit the ground and roll. You got a better shot than you do trying to go for it in your own territory.
From their own 3-yard line, Banks wants to throw, looking to the far side, now to the near side. He's going to uncork one. Oh, it's a wounded duck and going to be intercepted, or is it? Yes, it is. Newman able to hang on to it. Bernard Newman picking that pass off at the 32-yard line. Newman had a couple of INTs last week in the win at Greenbrier East and has another one here.
I'll tell you what, that one, as you said, a wounded duck, and I think he just simply heaved that one, but I think he just got it too much in the air and did not get it out. I mean, you can throw it too high, which he did, try to get it too high in the air instead of getting it out in a lower trajectory.
So now Spring Mills has their best field position. They'll start at the 32 of Martinsburg, 6th offensive possession. Henson back out there at quarterback, taking the snap, the controlled roll to that far side, lets that pass go, and almost intercepted as Braxton Todd undercut the intended target, Jacob McCarron.
Well, this is your 4-down territory now if you're Spring Mills. This is a situation where you have the ball in your own territory, and it's 2nd down here coming up. But, before, I think they put themselves in a very precarious position about 3 times in that first quarter. So they need to pick up a 1st down or 2 and give themselves a shot here. 10:38 to go, 2nd quarter. Seems like an awfully long football game. We're still got 10:38 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Back to the right side of the quarterback with an H-back out in front of him, out of the shotgun. Henson taking the snap, looking for running room to the right, gets grabbed and taken down. That's Ty Lucas, who will quickly wrap him up from behind. Well, it looks like IUP has scored a touchdown in their matchup against Shepherd, but apparently has missed the extra point. So it looks like the Rams may still own a 21-20 lead in that one. No gain on that last play for Chase Henson from the 32 of Martinsburg. It becomes a 3rd down and 10. Henson out of the gun, has Smoot to his left side, takes that snap, looks to set up the screen, catch is made, and down goes the receiver, Jacob Martin. Nice job, Braxton Todd, the linebacker, coming up to make that stop back at the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2.
Nice read that time by both both sides of the defensive line, and there was a screen, kind of a false screen to this side, but the real screen to the near side, to the bench side, over to Spring Mills. Just a really, really good read on that play. Nice call. I mean, I like the call. The fact that you're in a long down situation, 3rd and long.
Now it brings up 4th down and 12 from the Bulldog 34. Spring Mills will go for it. 0 for 3 on 4th downs so far in the half, and Martinsburg jumps offside. Outside linebacker Trey Sign was coming on the blitz. Got a little bit of a head start. +5 on that encroachment penalty. 3 penalties, 25 yards now on Martinsburg in the half. It'll make it a 4th down and about 7 for a first. Ball at the 29 of the Bulldogs. Clock winding as we're under 9 minutes to play in our first half. All Martinsburg in front 35-0 as the Bulldogs look for what will be their 54th consecutive win overall and 14th in a row in the playoffs. And out there this time at quarterback Jalen Burton, and Burton gets tackled in the backfield. That'll be a sack back at about the 33-yard line, -4.
Ty Lucas on the tackle that time, but Bernarski was on the other side and kind of forced him back into him. Bernarski did a nice job of just flaring out, keeping the quarterback kind of in the pocket, made him reverse field, and sack is recorded. 8:39 to go. Martinsburg will take over, and they very quickly get to the line of scrimmage.
And they are ready to go offensively with the handoff going to the tailback, Naeem Kearney, looking for running room here to the near side, able to avoid some guys getting to the 40, makes a cut back to his left, gets into open territory at the 45, breaks a tackle at the midfield stripe, and eventually gets twisted down on a touchdown saving tackle at the 42 of Spring Mills. I believe that was either Zylan Williams or Jacob Martin who eventually brought him down.
Well, again, I like the discipline that Martinsburg has. You know, you got players, the guys running all over the field with the football, reversing field direction and so forth, and not having holding calls or clipping violations.
Well, Martinsburg again working quickly, and yep, there's a penalty marker down. So Kevon Warren this time on the carry, and Kevon Warren picking up some good yardage, but penalty marker down. Now they're moving that flag a little further up the field, so we'll have a hold on Martinsburg, but it looks like it will occur about 4 yards into that run.
Got to keep your hands in. Got to keep them inside the shoulder pads.
Well, that prior run for Naeem Kearney went for 25 yards. He has now carried the football 3 times and has 42 rushing yards. That was the first carry for Kevon Warren, where he picks up about 4. But then the 10-yard holding penalty going to bring it back. So the football will be at the 48-yard line, still in Spring Mills territory. And it will become 1st and about 16. Handoff going to the tailback, Kevon Warren. Another penalty marker is down as Warren quickly gets bottled up. Right back at the line of scrimmage, taken down for no gain on the play. That looked like Zane Milburn, senior, helping to lead the way. Let's check what this penalty will be.
It's going to be holding against Martinsburg.
Another hold Martinsburg, and let's see, will it get taken or will they take the result of the play? It looks like Coach Chad Williams will take that holding penalty.
It's kind of a tough situation. Do you take the yardage or do you take the play? Martinsburg is a big play team anyway, so it's
right. So the ball goes all the way back to the Bulldog 41-yard line. 1st down and a country mile, you might say.
About 29.
Out of the gun, Banks taking that shotgun snap, hands it off to Kevon Warren along the near side, gets a little opening into the secondary where he's grabbed by Jacob McCarron, who will eventually spin him down back at the 44 of Spring Mills.
You know, you go 2nd down and 29, now it's going to be 3rd down and about 12. So, as I said, they're a big play team.
Yeah, there you go. You pick up about 15 yards on that run. That's a nice job by Kevon Warren. The Bulldogs again very quickly getting to the football from the 44-yard line of Spring Mills. Give again, it's to Kevon Warren along the near side. Hashmark, he quickly bursts through a hole into the secondary, cut to his left, and down the middle of the field, gets inside the 10, taken down at the 9.
Oh, give a lot of credit to the offensive line up there that time. He wasn't touched until he got into the secondary. 6:50 to go, clock running, 35-0. Martinsburg on the move again. First and goal at the 8-yard line of Spring Mills.
On first down and goal to go, the handoff is to Naeem Kearney, back out there, put his hand on the back of a blocker, trying to decide which way to go, bounces to his right, and then heads for the pylon, diving into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Well, you know, he's pretty strong for a small guy, and he's quick and he's fast. He's able to get there in a very, very short period of time, and you think you got him, and the next thing you know, he's out of your grasp.
That'll be his second rushing touchdown of this first half. This one from just outside the 8. We'll call it a 9-yard carry. 6:33 remaining here in our first half. Extra point attempt for Chris Catlett on the way, and it is good. We'll take a break and then return to Coburn Field. Again, 6:33 to play in the half, and Martinsburg now leading Spring Mills 42-0.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com.
Hit Jason when we come back.
We will head down and join Jason in just a moment. Catlett with the ensuing kickoff, high, popped up along the near side, and a fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. Jalen Burton, the senior, getting underneath of that one. Before we go to Jason, the drive summary: 5 plays, 67 yards, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, 9 yards on the touchdown run for Naeem Kearney. 42-0 Martinsburg. Sideline reports brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at folk4wv.com. Jason.
Hey, Matt, just a couple of score updates. Musselman is tied with Parkersburg South at 14-14, and Shepherd just kicked the field goal to take a 24-20 lead midway through the fourth quarter.
Let's see if Shepherd can hang on in that one. Let's go Mountaineers here. It's all Martinsburg, 42-0. Henson back out there at quarterback, taking the snap and handing it off, and Aiden Smoot quickly wrapped up and taken down. And on that stop, Michael Turner, who was there to help bring him down, and they'll set it back at the 23 for a loss of a yard.
Martinsburg has so many contributors on this football team, and they bring guys off the bench, and not necessarily, you know, guys who don't get to play. Obviously, you on this team, you get a chance to play because of the fact that, you know, they're undefeated and the blowouts that they've had. So a lot of these guys come in, and you know you have to really check the numbers because you're not sure all the time exactly who they have out there, and it's not a whole lot of drop-off.
Henson with a play-action pass on a slant to the far side, incomplete. Along the far side, hash mark cutting to the middle of the field. Jacob McCarron, who was the outside receiver on that far side, and the pass a little low. He went down to get it, but could not bring it in.
5:49. Second quarter, 49-0 is our score. I'm sorry, 42-0. It's going to bring up another third down situation, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, right now I've got Spring Mills at 3 of 8 on third down conversions, 0 of 4 on fourth down conversions in this first half. Snap goes back, and Henson wants to throw, in trouble, going to let that pass go. Catch made, and very quickly the receiver gobbled up. One more time on that stop was Turner, That pass was caught by, I believe, Williamson. Let's see, was it?
Yes, it's going to be a catch, and then it's going to be a loss of yardage on the play as well.
I'm waiting. Man, these jersey numbers very, very difficult to read, whether that's an 18 or whether that was a 10. I believe that might have actually been a 10, which would have been Jacob Martin on that reception. And then Martin is very quickly taken down for a loss of 2 back to the 21.
Now, Spring Mills gets into a conventional punt situation coming up here as they do have a punter.
This time it will be Pack who is back to punt the football. The snap is back. He'll barely get it out of there. Spiraling kick, angling near side. It ends up in the Martinsburg bench. That's Hayden Pack. 18 punts, a 36-yard average coming in. He'll get this one out to about the 41, and so that punt is going to cover 20 yards with no return.
You know, it was amazing, though, Matt. Martinsburg really actually only rushed one guy, and he almost blocked that.
That was Malachi Brown, who almost got there. So the Bulldogs, again with good field position, as they will start a drive in Spring Mills territory from the 41-yard line. 5:19 still to play in the half, 42-0 Martinsburg. Elijah Banks will have a back to his left side, 2 receivers each way. Looking to the near sideline and getting the play call. Kevon Warren is that tailback, and Banks wants to throw. Along the near side, wide open, the slot receiver, and it's caught by Teddy Marshall.
He never touched him.
Oh, we'll get a block in the back on Gerard Bowie that will bring back the touchdown, but the pass completion will go down to that 12-yard line where the penalty marker came in.
Bad call. Bad call. I don't say this very often, but that was a bad call. He did not touch him. He actually fell down. That was an assumption by the official. That was not a good call. Now, I'm not concerned about the points or anything like that, but, you know, as an official, if you don't see it, you don't call it. And you might hear some boos from the crowd out there because it was pretty obvious that he did not touch him on that play.
6 penalties, 55 yards now whistled against Martinsburg.
Especially when you're on the other side. You know, and you're going to call a block from behind it that you can't see.
Does move that football back to about the 23-yard line where it is still a 1st down and 10. Banks wants to throw along the near side. Penalty marker is down as the grab is made by Teddy Marshall. Marshall outside the numbers, getting down to about the 10-yard line. We'll wait and see what that penalty is going to be, and it may very well be against the Bulldogs, and there it is, another hold. So Martinsburg now penalized 7 times for 65 yards in this first half.
See, here's another really, really dumb situation that they still have in high school football. That holding occurred behind the line of scrimmage. You know, you really get penalized big time.
Yeah.
You know, that should go back to the line of scrimmage and then 10 yards from the line of scrimmage instead of the point of the infraction.
Yeah, it brings up now a 1st down and roughly 23, maybe 24 yards for a first. Gerard Bowie goes in motion from right to left, takes that little touch pass with blockers out in front, gets tripped up, stayed on his feet. He put a hand down to maintain his balance. They never blew it dead. He's coming back to the near side, gets a few blocks, slips through a tackle, gets inside the 20 and taken down at the 19-yard line. That time it was Zylan Williams able to wrap him up and bring him down.
Well, just a fantastic run. I mean, that's looked like a video play there. But give him a lot of credit, too, also to the officials for not blowing the whistle because that looked like he was going down on the ground. And a lot of times you get a kind of a preempted whistle. But they didn't blow the whistle. He did not go down. He put his hand down and got his balance back with 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go, first half. And it'll be 2nd down and now a very makeable about 6 yards.
On 2nd and medium, Banks to throw, receiver screen near side, caught by Jarvis Thurston, pushed out of bounds inside the 15. Let's see where they spot him. Looks like he'll be at the 12-yard line, and that gain is good for 7 and a Bulldog 1st down.
Well, it seems like whatever they need to get, they're able to get. If they need 25 yards, they're able to get it. If they need 4, they can get it.
1st down with the football at the 12-yard line. Clock continues to move. Well, stopped right now, pardon me, as he was forced out of bounds. 3:33 to play in the first half. Handoff Kevon Warren. Warren straight up the middle into the secondary, into the end zone. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Kevon Warren getting into the scoring, his first rushing touchdown in this one. Covers 12 yards, and Martinsburg extends the lead. Vic, when you look at the meetings between these two teams, Martinsburg 7-0 all-time against Spring Mills. The halftime lead in each one has been 32 points, well, I should say 27 points or better. And when you look at the last 4 meetings, it's been 42 points or better. And the Bulldogs right now with 48 on the board, ready to add the PAT. As Catlett, it is up and it is through. And we'll take a 30-second break with 3:27 remaining in our first half. And Martinsburg now leading Spring Mills 49-0.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
One of the up men, and he will get taken down at the 35 after a return of roughly 5 yards along the near side hash mark, able to pick it up on a bounce and get some positive yards. Scoring summary for Martinsburg, it was 4 plays, 41 yards, took 1 minute and 52 seconds, and it was a 12-yard touchdown run for Kevon Warren. I've got him now at 4 carries for 66 yards, and now we're rushing touchdown in the half. Spring Mills football, 3:22 to play in the first half. Already their 8th offensive possession from their own 35 on a first down and 10. Henson out there at quarterback, fakes the give to the tailback. He keeps it, pushes forward to the 30, well, we'll call it 37-yard line. He's going to have a gain of just about 2 yards. Led by number 59. Shepherd Rams in front, 24-20, 5 minutes left up at IUP. And IUP has the football ready to face a 3rd and 12, although there is a penalty pending. Second down, roughly 8 yards to go, almost 9 from the 37-yard line in Spring Mills territory. Cardinal football. Smoot in motion out of the backfield. Little quick underneath shovel pass going to the tight end. That is Barick, who will get wrestled down after a gain of a couple. Looks like they'll mark progress out close to the 39. So give him 2 yards.
2 minutes, 20 seconds ago in the first half. Again, score 49-0. And Spring Mills here, another tough situation. 3rd and 7 at their own 36-yard line.
A 39-yard line as they set it down. They are 3 of 9 on 3rd down conversions, facing the 3rd down and long here. That Shepherd game under 5 minutes left, and the Rams defense going to try to make a stand as IUP has it now in Ram territory around the 45. There is the snap back here. Henson gets a little opening off that right side. He's quickly into the secondary. It becomes a little bit of a foot race to the far sideline, and it's Trey Sine eventually getting a hold of Chase Henson and forcing him out of bounds at the Bulldog 35-yard line.
Nice run. Henson looked good on that run that time. Got to bounce it to the outside. 1:38 to go in the first half. Martinsburg, basically, we have maybe a couple starters out there from Martinsburg. They've been supplying the backups into the ball game and getting these guys some valuable experience.
On first down and 10. Henson has the snap, gives that little touch pass again to Barick as the tight end came across from left to right. He turns it upfield and picks up about 3. Might give him even 4 down close to that 31. That is technically considered a pass play, almost like a little shovel pass inside.
Spellman on the tackle for Martinsburg. We're down to a minute 15. Clock running.
Second down, 6 yards to go for a first from the Bulldog 31. 5th play of this Spring Mills possession. Henson to throw, now over the middle and intercepted. Anthony Smith going to pick that one off, trying to wrestle free but cannot do it. Martinsburg will have it at about their own 15-yard line. Looks like McCarron, who was the intended target, able to make the tackle after the INT from Anthony Smith.
I'll tell you, Anthony Smith, and I've noticed this all year long, as the season has progressed, well, he really has a good sense for the football. He knows, he reads the quarterback's eyes, he plays that free safety back there, and he does a great job. He had one he could have picked off. He went right through his hands at about the 8-yard line, but that time he was able to pick that one off.
2 turnovers now in this first half for Spring Mills. Martinsburg with 52 seconds left in the half takes over. That's Trey Sine now out there at quarterback as Naeem Kearney in the backfield with him. There is the snap back, and they will fake the give, and Sine will keep, and over top of the right side of the line, he will take it out close to the 19 for a gain of 4. Sine had a carry earlier in the ball game when he picked up a botched snap as Elijah Banks went up under center in that situation in the goal line set, and Sine picked it up off the ground and took it in for the score. This time Sine's going to hand it off, and Naeem Kearney making guys miss, able to bounce outside the tackle to the left and gets taken down from behind. And hang on, we've got some pushing going on that far sideline. That looks like Malachi. I'm not sure. Is that Malachi Brown, number 11 on that sideline?
Brown. He just got, we saw some pushing and shoving going on, and the official threw the flag. Let's see what they're going to call here. Personal foul against Martinsburg.
So the personal foul goes against Martinsburg. It will come at the end of that play that took the football out to the 23-yard line. So that was a gain of 4 for Naeem Kearney. And then they mark off the 15 yards from there. Martinsburg now up to 8 penalties for 80 yards in this first half. Right now, you're just wanting to get to the locker room. I mean, we are down to 18 seconds to play in the half. Martinsburg won't even have to run another play. Let's see if they do. Down to 12 seconds, 11. Sign out of the gun. Will take that shotgun snap. He's going to roll here to the near side, give a little pass to Gerard Bowie. Bowie along the near side, making cut moves, gets into a little bit of an opening with a blocker out in front, but a nice play by Henson to bring him down out at the 41-yard line. So that will be the final play. It will be a quick little pass play that picks him up some positive yards. We check in with Jason down on the sideline. He's got Coach Walker.
Coach, another dominating first half for your team. Your thoughts?
I mean, we're playing pretty well. I mean, they've helped us a little bit by going for it on 4th down. We've had some big plays on 4th down to give us good field position, but kids are playing pretty well, playing well on defense.
Defensively, you've done a great job of shutting them down.
Yeah, I mean, we're stopping the run, and then our guys in the secondary are doing a good job not giving up any big plays.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh, Matt.
There you go. That is the words of head coach David Walker as the Martinsburg Bulldogs go into the locker room at the intermission, and Martinsburg out in front by a score of 49-0. We will come back and tell you all about it as we get into our halftime show. It is brought to you by the Joe Ferretti Law Office, delivering first-rate service and results for their clients. Vehicle accident, slip and fall, medical malpractice. Call the Joe Ferretti Law Office, 304-596-8854 for a free consultation. Back after this 2-minute timeout, we are at the intermission with Martinsburg leading Spring Mills 49-0.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices, we are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com. If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Black dogs on three! 1, 2, 3, black dogs! Who let the dogs out?
It's time for today's halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, bring you first half stats and analysis, and check in on the action around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State with the out-of-town scoreboard. So let's return to the field and get things started with our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
We welcome you back into Coburn Field, where the Martinsburg Bulldogs have the lead 49-0 over Spring Mills here at the intermission. Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller, Jason Colrick on the sideline. Matt Crawford is our on-site producer. He's going to join us here in just a little bit on mic. Tell us what's going on elsewhere around some college football, as well as what is going on in the AAA playoffs. We've got Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras today. Vic, as we recap the scoring, it got started in not a good way for the Spring Mills Cardinals. They were going to get the opening kick. They fumbled that opening kick. Martinsburg recovered at the 1-yard line. One play later, Naeem Kearney was in the end zone. The Dogs went for a little razzle-dazzle on a 2-point conversion attempt, did not convert, but it was 6-0. And we were barely about, 14 seconds into this football game.
Yeah, very quickly, and we talked about it in the pregame. One of the things that Spring Mills could not do was make mistakes, especially major mistakes, and that was about as major as you can get.
Yeah, Martinsburg on their very next possession would take over at the 37-yard line of Spring Mills and needed just one play, a 37-yard touchdown pass going from Banks to Anthony Smith. Martinsburg did get the 2-point conversion, opened up a 14-0 lead, made it 21-0 on their next possession. It was a 3-play, 53-yard drive, and it was Trey Sign scooping up a muffed snap right at the goal line and getting into the end zone from a yard out. 21-0 Martinsburg. They would score on their next possession from the 5-yard line of the Cardinals, a 5-yard touchdown run for Elijah Banks. 28-0 the Bulldogs, and by the end of the first quarter it was 35-0 as Banks would connect with Malachi Brown for a 1-yard touchdown. And Martinsburg, we go into that second quarter with that 35-0 lead. In quarter number 2, capped a 5-play, 67-yard drive with a 9-yard touchdown run for Naeem Kearney. That made it 42-0. And then a 12-yard touchdown run for Kevon Warren, capped a 4-play, 41-yard drive. That would make it 49-0 Martinsburg. And Vic, right now that is where we stand, all the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's been all the Bulldogs here. And, again, surprised me the fact that we talked about in the pregame, at least I did mention the fact that I think you've got to, the third down situation, and fourth down situations, you got to punt the football away in the fourth downs. There's no way that you can hold on to the football in your territory against a team like this, a big play team, and give them the short field. I think you've got to take the chance of punting the football away, and, you got to work harder, and obviously during practice on your punt return situation, and you've got to curtail that. Obviously, Martinsburg's been burning people on kick returns, but that's just something you have to work on a little bit harder. You can't give them 30 or 40 yards to score, and next thing you know, they're in the end zone. So I think they hurt themselves early in the ball game, but not, by going for those and putting themselves behind the 8 ball. As you get behind against this team, you're just not going to come up, long-handed on those.
Right. We are at the intermission. All Martinsburg 49-0. They've got the lead. When we come back, I'll turn my microphone over to Matt Crawford. He'll catch us up to what is going on elsewhere around the AAA playoffs, as well as the, NCAA Division II playoffs with the Shepherd Rams. We'll see what the Mountaineers are up to as well, all as we continue on our halftime scoreboard show at the intermission. Martinsburg out in front, 49-0.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large 1-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com.
Welcome you back into Coburn Field. Matt Crawford here live in the press box. So getting out of the studio this week, being the on-site producer. It is the halftime scoreboard show. We will start talking high school scores from around the Mountain State, AAA, AA, and Single A. We will also keep you up to date. It's just 18 seconds left in the Shepherd Ram playoff game, the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs right now with 18 seconds left. It is a 1st and 10 Shepherd in field goal range. They are down 27-24. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at some scores from around the Mountain State. The games that finished up last night, again, it was Cabell Midland beating GW 28-18, and Spring Valley all over Capital 32-0. Deep pass over the middle, and that pass is caught for a touchdown. Shepherd takes the lead with 11 seconds left in the ball game. Pass from Tyson Bage into the back corner of the end zone. Looking to see who came down with that catch. Believe it was Dylan Brewer. I believe that was the Martinsburg connection. And it looks like Shepherd is going to escape Indiana with a win. A late touchdown pass from Tyson Bagent to Dylan Brewer. All right, again, that was, or no, they're going to say that was Devin Phelps on the touchdown reception. So #1, so it's going to go Tyson Bagent to Devin Phelps. Doesn't matter who it is. It could have been a lineman. Shepherd takes the lead with 11 seconds left in that football game. Again, finals from last night in AAA. Cabell Midland over GW 28-18. Spring Valley over Capital 32-0. Update from the Musselman-Parkersburg game. It is Musselman 27, Parkersburg South 17. So see what Musselman can do in that second half. That game is at the half as well. AA scores last night. Fairmont Senior over Frankfort 31-7. Bridgeport at the half is up over Mingo Central 14-0. Oak Glen is at the half as well. They're taking on Poca in the 6-3 matchup, battle of undefeated teams at 11-0. That is 13-13. And Bluefield beat Kaiser last night 43-20. Let's go down to the Single A action. Games from last night, just one. Last night it was Williamstown beating Greenbrier West 34-22. Games in action today, a bunch of low-scoring games. Still no update on the Doddridge County East Hardy game. That is the 8-1 matchup with Doddridge County coming in 11-0. East Hardy 8-3. At the half, Wheeling Central is up by a touchdown over Ritchie County. That's the 10-2 matchup. Wheeling Central comes in 7-4. Ritchie County at 10-1. Again, that game is at the half. And Pendleton County up over St. Mary's at the half, 7-2. So some low-scoring games in single A and a slew of football going on around the Mountain State today. Ensuing kickoff for Shepherd, a little trickery for IUP, just trying to make anything happen, and a good return here to the near side across the 40-yard line up to the 45, and the clock taken off of our screen. But can't imagine there's any more than about 4 seconds left, and that's exactly what it is. So 4 seconds left. IUP will run one play left in this ball game. Let's go ahead and take a look at scores from Division I college football. The Mountaineers in action today, senior day out at Milan Puskar Stadium. As we pull up those scores, again, still keeping an eye on that Shepherd game. In top 25 action before we get to WVU, Penn State, Ohio State, with just over 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It is Ohio State up over Penn State 21-17. Alabama all over West Carolina 66-3. Auburn over Samford 45-0. Those are real power games late in the season for the SEC opponents. And Oklahoma State, number 21 in the country, up 20-13 over the West Virginia Mountaineers. Timeout on the field taken by Shepherd. One final play to take. Let's go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, we'll have that final from the Shepherd game and get you ready for the second half of football. Again, at the half, it is Martinsburg 49, Spring Mill 0. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
Numbers, and then I'm going to turn this back over to you. I got to head to the bathroom. I cannot wait. There is no way.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
So we are back, and it is a final at IUP as the Shepherd Rams do get that come-from-behind victory with literally a last-second touchdown pass as Tyson Bajent was able to connect with Devin Phelps, and the Rams will get that victory, Matt, final 31-27, correct? 31-27, big win for the Shepherd University Rams, Vic.
Huge win on the road, and I'll tell you what, I've done games there, and you have as well. That's a tough place to play. It's, you take a look at that, Shepherd coming from the Mountain East Conference into the PSAC Conference, one of the toughest conferences in the country, and to be able to perform the way they have, and they hadn't stumbled their toes early in the season. Yeah. We might be looking at it like 12-0 at this point, and number 1 in the region, but they are where they are. They had a great win today, and congratulations to Ernie McCook and his staff. I'll tell you, that's a big, big win.
Let's take a look at the first half stats here from Coburn Field, brought to you by Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing all your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. They want to be your back office. Give them a call at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. We'll begin with Spring Mills, who ran 36 plays in the first half, 50 yards of offense, 26 rushing, and 24 passing. They would go 4 of 10 on third down conversions, 0 of 4 on fourth down conversions. Penalized in the first half, 4 times for 20 yards, as they were penalized mostly on illegal procedure penalties. When you look at some of the numbers in the first half for turnovers, they had a pair, as they turned one over on an INT and the other the fumble on the very opening kickoff. A couple of individual numbers for starting quarterback Chase Henson, 7 of 13 passing for 26 yards, 12 carries for 22 yards, 3 carries, 6 yards for Aiden Smoot, a carry for -4 yards for Jalen Burton, 4 carries for 6 yards for Bernard Newman. Now for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, they ran 21 plays in the first half, 306 yards of offense, 148 rushing, 158 passing. Martinsburg did turn the football over once, had 13 first downs. That INT, the only turnover in that first half for Martinsburg. The Dogs penalized 8 times for 80 yards, and Martinsburg did not face a third down in the first half. Never got to a third down play the entire first half. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The first 11 plays were all first down opportunities, as Martinsburg either scored on that very play or picked up 10 or more yards to pick up a first down on that very play, so that the first 11 out of 21 plays in the first half, Martinsburg went first down, first down, first down, first down.
That is absolutely unbelievable. I think if you were to sit down and you were doing analytics of the season and what they have done, statistics like that would just blow your mind. You would say that this is a video game. This is not real football, but it really is. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing what they have been able to do. Let's see, Martinsburg individually in this first half, you're looking at 5 carries, 55 yards, a couple of touchdowns for Naeem Kearney, 4 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown for Kevon Warren. Elijah Banks throwing the football, 6 of 728 yards. He's had a couple of touchdown passes. Banks had a 5-yard touchdown run as well. Trey Sign, 2 carries, 5 yards. He's got a touchdown, and Sign completing a pass to Gerard Bowie, 1 of 1 for 30 yards. So that is a quick look at the numbers, and brought to you by Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, human resources, and IT services. Hey, they want to be your back office. Give them a call at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. Sending it back to the studio. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll get back for our second half kick as we get ready for our second half of action. We are here at Coburn Field with Martinsburg all over Spring Mills at the intermission, 49-0.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
And we welcome you back into Coburn Field. Matt Crawford, Vic Holmes here with you. Matt Miller stepping out of the booth for a moment. I'm sure those at home can probably guess why. But we are just a few minutes away, actually just under a minute and a half away from getting this second half kickoff. And Vic, in the second half in a regular season game, you can talk about, okay, let's try to work on things for next week. Let's try to work on these younger players. What do you do in a playoff game when it's a deficit like this? Obviously, Martinsburg knows that they're going to get some younger kids' experience, not only for next week, but for next year. Is Spring Mills looking at that the same way?
Well, I think you have to. I think you sort of have to look at the fact that you come back out here in the second half, and I think the biggest thing that Spring Mills wants to do right now is to get on the scoreboard. I don't think they want to be shut out again, and this is a playoff. You know, they want to have an opportunity to say, at least, you know, we were able to score, we would have put something together and get it into the end zone. But at the same time, you know, when the fourth quarter rolls around, you got to put your backup guys in there as well. You got to give everybody an opportunity. It's a playoff game, and you don't get these chances too often, especially after you won the first round, and let your guys on the bench get that opportunity as well. They've come out, they've practiced every day, they've worked hard, and they deserve an opportunity to be in the ball game as well. So I think pretty much that's what we're going to see here in the fourth quarter especially.
Well, we knew there was rain in the forecast for today, and from Jason Colwick down on the sideline. Jason, does it feel like the rain's starting to come in?
Yeah, the rain has moved in here to the Eastern Panhandle, so it's just a light drizzle right now, but at the same time it is raining. The winds are starting to pick up a little bit, so that's probably going to affect the passing game here in the second half. Good thing for Martinsburg, they can probably just afford to just keep the ball on the ground, where Spring Mills is going to have to air this out if they want any kind of chance to get back into it.
Yeah, and Vic, that's a good thing for Martinsburg, because you know they're going to run the football regardless.
Yeah, they're going to run the football regardless. I think they may, you know, in the first series may throw the ball a couple times, but very possibly just, you know, the fact of just staying in rhythm a little bit, maybe in this first series and coming back here in the second half. But they're going to run the ball the rest, and we're also going to see probably here, and probably second series, maybe we're going to see backups in the ball game for Martinsburg especially.
For the second week in a row, the second half clocks have been shortened in a playoff game. 8 minutes is going to be the quarter length in the second half, and in that fourth quarter, that 8 minutes is just going to be pretty much 8 minutes start to finish in real time as well. Vic, when's the last time you saw back-to-back playoff games where the clocks were shortened in the second half?
This is the first. This is the first. I mean, I think this is a good thing, but at the same time, it's also the telling tale about the playoffs itself. I mean, not that Spring Mills doesn't deserve to be here. I think, you know, we go back to last week. I thought last week was just horrendous. I mean, that wasn't even a good regular season game, much less two teams in the playoffs. But, you know, this is just a Martinsburg team who's just dominating here today, and Spring Mills feels as though they have very little chance. So, consequently, they did some things here. I think if they had to do them over again, like going for it in the fourth downs and third, you know, in situations like that, they probably wouldn't do it. But, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
To start the second half, Martinsburg will get the football. Again, the rain's starting to come down.
Matt Crawford, thank you very much. As Matt and I switch places, Matt's got to head upstairs, and we got to make sure that we get all of our gear covered as we begin to see some of the rain showers that we had been anticipating. We knew they were coming here this afternoon. The question is, how quickly would they come? And frankly, I think they have held off quite nicely.
Well, you know, Matt, before I left home, I saw one broadcast, and it said it'd probably reach our area around 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. And it's raining.
Right on time. Ready with the kickoff, Hayden Pack. He will approach, and he will pop it up along that far side. Well, a little bit of a line drive, and Anthony Smith trying to get to it, had to go right through his hands, and able to dive on it for Spring Mills is Jacob McCarron. And McCarron will gobble it up at the 32-yard line in Martinsburg territory. Spring Mills will have it.
Well, not too often you see a mistake by a return guy, especially if it's a Martinsburg team, the way they have returned the football. But Anthony Smith did not make a good judgment on that one. He should have just, it's kind of like a baseball player trying to short hop one on the infield. Should just stay back and just either let it bounce, get it when it comes off the ground, or let it go by you. Good. This is a good situation. Believe it or not, that was a good play for Martinsburg for the upcoming weeks.
Ready to receive the snap is Chase Henson. He's got it. Going to keep it off this left side of the line, trying to get towards the sideline, able to battle his way through Anthony Smith, who eventually will get that tackle, taking him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, might even give him the 29 in Bulldog territory. So Henson able to pick up a couple. They'll make it 3 as they'll set it down. Well, at the 29-yard line. Yep, 3 yards on that one. 2nd down and 7 coming. Spring Mills team looking for some points against Martinsburg. Have been shut out 3 straight games, 56-0 in both 2017 and 18, and 77-0 earlier this season.
Well, now they're in 4-down territory here now. Even though the score's 49-0, they were in their own territory. Their best field position all year.
Yeah, they've now brought Burton in at the quarterback spot. So Jalen Burton came in at QB. Henson went as a slot receiver to the right. Penalty marker is down as Burton capped it. He's going to pick up about 3, but we'll have illegal procedure.
Yeah, it's going to be procedure against.
Yep, illegal motion, if you will, as one of the backs coming out of the backfield was already working towards the line of scrimmage on the snap. So we had 4 penalties, 20 yards in the first half, make it 5 penalties, 25 yards now total for Spring Mills, as they will lose 5 yards on that penalty.
37-yard line.
Well, how did they move it back to the 37-yard line? There had been a gain of 3 earlier, down to the 29. They mismarked this. They have totally mismarked this penalty, because it's all the way back to the 37-yard line, and it's 2nd down and about 15. 2 receivers out to the right. Out of the gun, that looks like Burton again at quarterback. He is in the pocket and very quickly taken down. He tried to step up to get by Braxton Todd, but when he did, there was Malachi Brown and Ty Lucas and Matt Bednarski and Terrell Good. Wow, they'll all get credit back at the 45-yard line for a loss of about 8.
What a shame. I mean, he had an excellent opportunity, had man-to-man coverage. First of all, Martinsburg almost didn't cover one of the wideouts, and they had misalignment because there was nobody in the middle of the field from the middle of the field all the way over to this side, and with a receiver over here. But Malachi Brown was on him so quickly.
That is a 3rd down and 23 that is now staring right in the face of Spring Mills from their own 45-yard line. On 3rd down and long, it is Burton staying out there at quarterback. He wants to run to his right, no place to go. He is met in the hole and taken down. Malachi Brown helping on that tackle, but I think that was Morris who was the first one to really get there and put the hit on him. Bryce Morris, the senior linebacker.
Boy, that ended up, well, what promising series for Spring Mills ends up disasters. 4th down and 23.
Yeah, the drive started at the 32 of Martinsburg, and they'll be punting from the 46 of the Bulldogs. Pack is out there, it looks like, to punt it away, awaiting that snap at his own 41-yard line. Still awaiting that snap back as the play clock winds down, and it hit zeros just as the snap came back. The kick is away, a spiraling kick, angling far side. That's going to go down inside of the 10-yard line and then going to go into the end zone, and it should be a touchback, and it will be. That one almost stopped right along the goal line, and then a diving attempt by one of the Spring Mills players to keep that one from getting into the end zone, but ultimately it ends up being a touchback. The punt will cover 46 yards, but a net of only 26. And with 5:23 remaining in quarter number 3, Martinsburg will get their first offensive possession of the second half. First down and 10 from their own 20.
Martinsburg will start their usual starting offensive unit, obviously. You've got 5:23 to go in the third quarter. Again, a shortened second half.
There is the snap back to Elijah Banks. He's going to throw deep along the near side. Has Gerard Bowie along the hash marks. He's got it at the 45, a foot race down the near sideline. He's to the 10, to the 5, and outruns Jalen Burton to the end zone. It is a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown, 80 yards on the scoring strike.
There's not a whole lot you can say about that. Just a well-thrown football, just a receiver just outrun the defensive back and lay it out there in 6 points.
7 of 8 passing on the day for Banks. Had 80 yards to his prior total, and he's up to 208 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Gerard Bowie with that now has 7. Make it 14 touchdown catches on the season. And that is now a long for him in touchdown reception, the 80-yarder. 87 is the long pass for Elijah Banks for a touchdown this season. Extra point up and good for Chris Catlett. And with 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in quarter number 3, we're back in 30 seconds with Martinsburg out in front now, 56-0.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
Musselman 27, Parkersburg South 24.
27-24, we hear the announcement here at Coburn Field that Musselman leads Parkersburg South in the other semifinal going on today. The winner of that one will get the Martinsburg Bulldogs in next week's semifinals. Here is the ensuing kick, and it bounces off of one of the Spring Mills up men, and diving after it is that man for the Cardinals, along with Chris Catlett for the Bulldogs. And let's see who comes out of there with it. It is Spring Mills. That was one of those squib kicks that was going down the field that hit off of David Sanner, and Sanner then able to dive on it and maintain possession for the Cardinals. Oh boy, almost disaster.
And it wasn't an onside kick or anything, just a squib kick. And, you know, one of the things, there's a couple ways of handling the squib kick situation. Well, you do one of two things. Either you got your, what we call good hands teams, the guys who are receivers and backs who have good hands can catch that ball, or you teach your guys up front, if it's kicked towards you, get out of the way, don't touch it. Let it go to the guys behind you who do have the hands.
First down and 10 from the Bulldog 46. That's Burton back out there at quarterback. Hands it off to Henson, who had been the quarterback, this time as the tailback. And Chase Henson able to pick up a couple of yards, getting inside the 45 and down to about the 44 of Martinsburg.
Well, Spring Mill's using some of their, weapons that they have, and guys who are returning. Who play multiple positions, going from quarterback to running back, sometimes a wide out. And, it's one good thing that they are doing. They're giving their players an opportunity, and they're putting them where they need to put them to try to help their offense or defense.
And you got to remember what this team has gone through this season as well from the 44-yard line. Burton out of the gun awaiting that snap. It comes back, and he is going to hand it off. Once again, that is Henson on the carry and gobbled up immediately by Terrell Good. Ty Lucas right there as well, and Chase Henson taken down at the 45-yard line for a loss of a yard. But, Vic, remember at the beginning of the year, Keon Pedmore Johnson, who had such a great sophomore year last year, was expected to really have a breakout year this year as a junior, went down with a knee injury before the season ever started, totally changed the complexion of the season for this team, and yet here they are in the quarterfinal round 7-4.
Exactly, and that's why you got to give this team so much credit. You know, these guys, what they possibly could have done had he been healthy this year. This, you know, Martinsburg may not be playing them here today. They might be playing someone else because they may have been higher in the ranks.
3rd and about 9 from the 45. Burton going to keep it this time, and moving to his right, stumbles and falls. He was trying to get outside of the numbers on that far sideline and kind of tripped himself up, and he's a little slow to get up. Hopefully not one of those turf toe type of situations. But he is certainly feeling it a little bit. They are going to mark the football back down around the 42, so a 3-yard gain that time for Burton.
And he's still on the ground there. Looks like he's in some pain there. 3:19 to go here in the third quarter. I guess this is a running clock situation when we do resume. 56-0 is our score, and the game's been played pretty much in accordance with this score. Martinsburg is just totally dominated, as you said before. I don't think they haven't reached a third down play situation so far in this ball game. That's amazing.
Yeah, they have certainly put up the numbers in this one, as they have done all season, outscoring opponents 60-7 coming in.
And Matt, I think we have an update. I think we have Musselman. I think Parkersburg South may have just gone ahead.
And we were hearing that announcement coming, 31-27. Now Parkersburg South out in front. Jason has texted us that Blake Hartman is not playing. So Blake Hartman banged up last week, not playing. I don't know if that means just not playing at this particular moment and time, if he tried to gut it out during the game and just was not able to go, or whether he was not able to play at all. I'm not sure.
Well, if he wasn't able to play at all, he didn't play today. Boy, I tell you, they've done a gutsy
not at
job.
all today.
Yeah.
And we just got that message, so wow. Well, here we go as Burton to his feet off the field, and a punt coming from Hayden Pack, and he gets it out of there. End over end kick, and Gerard Bowie is going to take it at the 12-yard line. Bowie coming here to the near side to the 25. Stiff arm to try to get rid of a man there, and eventually does. Gets a couple of nice blocks. Oh, we get a couple of penalty markers down as Gerard Bowie gets spun around, and eventually he'll be taken down at the 16-yard line.
Bowie returns, second down.
33 yards on that punt for Pack, and a handful of yards on that return. Really, it ends up being only about 4 yards on the return. But we're going to have a penalty on Martinsburg, and I believe it's going to be one of those blindside or crackback blocks.
Well, you're going to get those kind when Martinsburg punt returners, because these guys use the whole field. I mean, they simply will go one direction, reverse, and change direction. And it's hard not to do that. It's just almost a natural instinct. So, virtually be half the distance to the goal. So it'll be back at the 8-yard line, 1st and 10 with 2:53 to go here in the third quarter.
So that is 9 penalties now for 88 yards against Martinsburg. And from their own 8-yard line on a 1st down and 10, Elijah Banks in there at quarterback. Kevon Warren and Naeem Kearney both are in the backfield.
Now that's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, who's getting the ball? Banks will take that snap, hand it off to Kevon Warren. Scorched through a hole from the lead blocker, Naeem Kearney, and down the near sideline. There he goes. Kevon Warren going to outrun everybody. Oh, he broke free at about the 35-yard line, and there is nobody on this field going to catch him. Kevon Warren is going to cover 92 yards on the touchdown run.
Untouched.
2 offensive plays in this second half, Vic, and Martinsburg has 172 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, that's absolutely scary because he hit the line of scrimmage there and never was touched. He made one little juke to the inside and cut outside the tackle, and that was it. It was just a foot race from there on, and that was no contest. 62-0 with the extra point coming up.
Well, that is the longest touchdown play from scrimmage this season for Martinsburg. The prior long had been 87 on a pass play. This a 92-yard run. And Chris Catlett for the extra point puts it up and through. 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. And we step aside. A 60-second break with Martinsburg out in front now, 63-0.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
And the ensuing kickoff along the near sideline, grabbed by an up man that looks like is Samuel Stotler, who is a freshman who was able to get on that football, and Spring Mills will have it at their own 43. Martinsburg has run 2 offensive plays in this second half and have 2 touchdowns, 80 yards on a pass and 92 yards on a run. Wow, 2:36 remaining here in quarter number 3, and Vic, Martinsburg is still yet to face a third down this afternoon.
Again, I said it, I don't know, too many times already, but I'll say it again. That's amazing.
You ready? They've only faced the second down 4 times in the entire afternoon. From their own 43-yard line on first down and 10, handoff Aiden Smoot for Spring Mills, and Smoot grabbed and taken down on the play after getting back to the line of scrimmage. A little bit of jawing going on after the end of that play. That was Malachi Brown, who I'm sure will get credit for the tackle, but got a lot of help in there as well.
Yeah, Terrell Good also with the help on that particular tackle. I don't know what you get to the point where, you're down 63-0. There's not a whole lot to jaw about.
Smoot had 3 carries for 6 yards in that first half. Unable to pick up anything here. Smoot will stay in as a tailback with Jalen Burton at quarterback. Burton 18 of 37 on this season for 239 yards. Takes that snap, gives a little underneath pass to Barrick, who came in motion. That was the tight end who started to his left, came back to his right. They've used that little underneath shovel type pass several times today, but not getting anything out of it here. 3rd and 10 coming.
Dana Lucas on the tackle that time. It's just the play seemed to be so slow developing in Martinsburg's defensive line. I mean, the game's been played on the other side of the football the whole day, and they haven't. I've yet to see the backs, other than maybe 3 times all day, they've been able to turn upfield with the football. Everything's been east-west, laterally across the field.
3rd down and 10. Burton again out of the gun. Chase Henson is over on the sideline. Standing there watching the play as it develops. Burton on the keeper to his right. Terrell Good able to get to him, and he tries to reverse field a couple of different times, and eventually it's Kevon Warren, the linebacker, who will bring him down all the way back. Let's see. I think they're going to mark it at about the 25-yard line. There is a penalty marker down at the 40.
There's a holding up here against Spring Mills. At least that's what I saw.
Well, if you're Martinsburg, you're declining that, because that's a loss of 18 yards from the 43 all the way back to the 25.
Well, and the face mask. So Martinsburg will decline the face mask penalty there and the hold.
Martinsburg has declined the penalty.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Yeah, take the result of that play, minus 18 yards. 4 of 13 now on third down conversions for Spring Mills.
Now, this is where it's dangerous when you talk about punting the football to Martinsburg. Now, you've got probably maybe the most dangerous guy in the state of West Virginia running back punts, Gerard Bowie.
And Bowie stands at the midfield stripe. Hayden Pack ready to get it out of there. Has punts of 46 and 33 yards here in this second half. Letting that play clock run down, the game clock winding down to 20 seconds left in the third. There is the snap. Kick is away. High floating type of kick. Gerard Bowie's going to let it bounce at the 46-yard line, and it will take a Spring Mills skip inside the 40 and go out of bounds, and it looks like they'll mark it right around the 39.
I think this is something that they probably should have thought about in the first quarter. Instead of going for it on fourth down in their own territory, just punt the football away. You know, you prepare yourself in practice for guys like Bowie, and, you know, I don't think it takes a whole lot to actually put in any European type or style of punting the football away and just keep it away from guys like that. Just work on your coverage. I think it would have helped them a lot more, but that's neither here nor there. With 9.8 seconds to go in the third quarter, down 63-0.
Elijah Banks out of the gun. Having a back to his right side. We'll give that little pitch, and coming here to the near side, that looks to be Braxton Todd, who fights off tacklers, picking up about 6 yards out to the 45, but a penalty marker is down in the backfield. 1.3 seconds left in the third. Let's check that penalty.
The flag went about 6 yards back into the backfield. There was nobody back there but the quarterback, so it couldn't occur there. It had to occur at the line of scrimmage.
So holding Martinsburg.
There's nobody back there that deep.
I was going to say.
There was no one there that deep other than the quarterback standing there.
And yet they are going to mark it off from that 34-yard line. It's going to go all the way back to the 24. Wow. Martinsburg will face about 25 yards to go. Parkersburg South on top of Musselman right now, 31-27. And as they set the football, the final second ticks off of our third quarter clock. 8 minutes of play coming up after this 60-second timeout. We head to quarter number 4 in this quarterfinal round matchup with Martinsburg leading Spring Mills 63-0.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and ball pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
You care about your car, so you take it to the best mechanic. You love your dog, so you take it to a vet you trust. So why go with just anyone when it comes to your insurance? With a local Allstate agent, you get expert advice you can trust and the best coverage for you. And because they live in your community, you can always count on them to be there when you need them the most.
Call Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Heading to quarter number 4 along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick on the sideline, Caleb Valero at the studio, Matt Crawford, our on-site engineer, Zach Van Meter running cameras along with Eric Sterick on first down. And 25 from their own 25 The Bulldogs put Trey Sign in at quarterback. Nifty running along the near side, gets outside the numbers beyond the 40 and the 45, and he's all the way out to the 48-yard line. And he's going to pick up 24 yards, and Martinsburg goes from 1st and 25, Vic, to 2nd and 1.
Wow.
They are going to run a second down play for just the 5th time today. But unless there's a big stop here, they're not going to run a 3rd down play.
And we're looking at all backups now here from Martinsburg on offense.
Sign going to take that snap. He is going to hand it off and turning the corner on that right side. That's Braxton Todd. Look at him go inside the 30, angling to the 25, and finally forced out of bounds inside the 20. Let's wait and see where they're going to spot him, and it will be at the,
out of bounds.
Oh, looks like 15-yard line. Had to wait for the official to eventually get there and mark his progress, and that gain is going to be good for 37 yards for Braxton Todd.
Obviously, this is unique in itself, the fact that you're playing this type of a game, with a portion of quarters, 8-minute quarters in the 3rd and 4th quarter in the running clock. But, this just shows you the difference between up there, the upper echelon, and the guys who are trying to get there. There's a big discrepancy between the amount of talent there is at those two levels.
Martinsburg going to either call a timeout or take a delay penalty, and they will call a timeout as the play clock was winding down. Jason just texted me, did you say no 3rd downs with a timeout on the field? Yes, Jason, we'll say it again. Martinsburg has yet to face a 3rd down in this football game. As I look back to the first half, they scored on 1 play in their first possession, scored on 1 play in their second possession, scored on 3 plays in their third possession with gains of 16, 36, and then the 1-yard touchdown. They ran just 1 play for a 5-yard score, ran a 17-yard play to get to the 1-yard line, and then a 1-yard touchdown. So again, all first downs in those scenarios. Threw an interception on a first down, had a 25-yard gain on a first down, had a first down play that ultimately there was a couple of holding penalties that backed them up, so they faced a 1st and 29 and then a 2nd and 14, and well, they got a 35-yard play to get the first down there. So got to a 1st and goal at the 9 and scored. Yeah, they have yet to even come close, really, to facing a 3rd down yet in this one. 1st and 10 from the 15 of Spring Mills. Clock now winding out of the timeout as we're under 6 minutes to play in this one. Braxton Todd to the left side of the quarterback. It's Peyton Curry out there. Has to pick that snap up off the ground. Running here to his left. He is able to turn the corner to the 10. Penalty markers down as he gets inside the 2 and down to the 1-yard line. We're going to have a pair of blocks in the back at the 10.
There is a flag on the play.
So Peyton Curry called on as the quarterback. Had that snap down around his ankles. Took him a few moments to pick it up. And once he picked it up, turned the corner on this left side and ends up picking up about 5 yards before we get -10 on the block in the back.
Yep, pretty obvious on that one.
I've got 11 penalties, 110 yards as an unofficial number for Martinsburg. Going to move the football back to about the 21-yard line.
And again, we're still on the running clock with 5 minutes to go in the football game, 63-0. Martinsburg obviously in command.
First down and roughly 16. Handoff to Braxton Todd, turning the corner on the right side. Gets a great block out there from the wide receiver, Joshua Woodfork.
Yes, he
the
did.
senior wide out, sealing that outside edge and giving Braxton Todd a chance to get to the end zone.
That was an excellent block. Open field there without a hold or anything of that nature. Just a great block. Guys like that, Woodfork don't get that type of situation too often, but I'll tell you what, he looked like a All-American on that block.
.449 to play in this one, and on for the extra point again is Chris Catlett, and the snap placement kick. It's up and good, and we will step aside with 4:49 left in Martinsburg, now out in front of Spring Mills, 70-0.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Let's talk surf and turf. We all know Johnny's has great steaks. Ribeyes, New York strips, ranch, T-bones. But did you know Johnny's also has lobsters? That's right, lobsters. Pair any of our delicious steaks with our lobster items and boom! Surf and turf. Johnny's, restaurant quality steak and lobster at wholesale prices and 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
So we get ready for the ensuing kickoff after the Bulldog touchdown.
I think we're going to hear a cheer from the crowd, and I think it's because the kickoff is going to be
Tanner
Lucas is going to kick it off.
The big fella approaches, and there it goes. A wobbly, bouncing kick that will be taken by Spring Mills on a dive at about the 39-yard line. That is Joseph Moore, a junior, diving on that loose football. Well, let's quickly give you the scoring summary for the Bulldogs. 4 plays, 61 yards in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. 21 yards on the touchdown run for Braxton Todd. By the way, he had 2 carries, 58 yards as part of that 61-yard drive. And Martinsburg leads at 70-0. Summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Sideline reports are a service of Mike Folk for Governor. Go to Folk4WV.com to learn more. Let's check in with Jason.
It's raining down here. That's all I got to say is the rain has really picked up here late here in the second half. So, but it's good to see Martinsburg do some different things out here. It's kind of fun for the kids.
What'd you think of the big fella kicking there, huh? Old school.
I tell you, I was worried about him falling down because he didn't have much of an approach there.
No, he didn't. And on the wet turf surface, you could see the foot slipping maybe. Now the clock's still winding. 3:26 and counting. They now get the play clock moving. 25 seconds now down to 20 seconds. Spring Mills right now huddled up along that far sideline. I'm not sure if they're going to come out and run a play or not.
Doesn't look like they are. They're going to take a 5-yard penalty here with 3, 2, 1. Or are they going to call a timeout? Now
timeout. All right, so they will go ahead and call a timeout, giving us a chance to say thanks to our sponsors, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Panhandle Dumpsters, Mirius Group, and Ameriprise Financial, Miller's Honda, Johnny's, Bechtel Jewelers, Parsons Ford, WVU Medicine, University Healthcare, J&P Service and Repair, and Brown Funeral Homes. Thanks to each of our individual game segment sponsors as well, supporting our coverage of high school football featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Well, Parkersburg South now out in front of Musselman 38-27 in the fourth quarter of that one. So it is looking more and more like it may be a Parkersburg South and Martinsburg matchup in next week's semifinals. On the other side, we already know that it will be Spring Valley at Cabell Midland.
Should be a couple good ball games next week.
Clock winding under 3 minutes as Burton brings him to the line of scrimmage. Has it back to his right side. Awaits that shotgun snap, just letting that play clock wind down. 13, 12, 11, 10. Burton, the senior, 5'10", 160. Still letting that clock wind down. It's down to 4 seconds on the play clock. There is the snap and the handoff, and it's Martin on the carry, moving to his left. Gets hit and taken down after maybe a 1-yard gain to the 40-yard line. Jacob Martin, if I read correctly, he is one of the seniors, 5'10", 195. Martin actually had 3 carries for 22 yards last week.
And the officials slowly spot the football, which they should do, and kind of let this clock run out and get this over with. Spring Mills taking their good old time and letting the play clock run down to about 2 seconds before they snap it. We're under 2 minutes now left in the game.
Burton, again, looks like he'll have Martin to his left side. Down to 1:50 on that game clock, 5 seconds on that play clock. Snap is back. Oh, no, wait a minute. Who is it? One of the big fellas that they give him the football, and he's going to push it forward for a gain of about 2. Now waiting to see who comes off the bottom of the pile with that carry. That was a 79 Chase Keener, 5'11", 290. And the senior gets his first carry, I'm sure, of the year. Picks up 2 yards out to the 42-yard line. It'll bring up about 3rd down and 7. We near a minute left on a running clock. Martinsburg will pick up win number 54 in a row. Playoff victory number 14 in a row. And we'll host a semifinal here next weekend. The big fella Keener to the right of the quarterback. They're again going to hand him the football. He gets met in the hole by a big bulldog. That looked like Zion Watson, 75, who was able to wrap him up. The Dogs eventually bring him down. That'll be another gain of a yard out to the 43-yard line, and it will bring up 4th down if we even have to run another play, and I don't think we will.
There were 18 of 22 guys either involved in trying to tackle him, pushing forward, or whatever they were doing. Seemed like everybody was there in a big scrum.
Well, there it is. That will be the final play of the game as the clock is winding down. 14, 13, 12, 11. Will it be the final play? Spring Mills quickly rushes up to the football. They want to go ahead and snap it and try to give the big fella one more run, but the referee's not having it.
No, he's standing over top of the football, says we're not having any more. That's it.
There it is. This football game is over, and the Martinsburg Bulldogs will get the win by the final score of 70-0 as the Bulldogs improve to 12-0 on the season. Spring Mills has their magical year really wrap up at 7 wins and 5 losses. We'll come back and tell you all about it as we get into our post-game show. It is brought to you by... let me see if I can get my cards to turn. It is a cold day and they won't even move. The Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Back after this 2-minute timeout again. Martinsburg with the victory over Spring Mills, 70-0.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow, dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag Extra Power Button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
Black dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, black dogs! Who let the dogs out?
Coming up next, we've got complete game stats and analysis. We'll recap the scoring, name our offensive and defensive players of the game, and take a look ahead to our next broadcast. All on the postgame show. So let's get started and head back to the stadium to rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
As we get into our post-game show, we get ready and send it down to Jason. He should be standing by with head coach David Walker as the Bulldogs have wrapped their huddle after a 70-0 win over Spring Mills. Jason.
Coach, congratulations on the win and advancing to the semifinals. Team offensively was dynamite today.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought we played well in all three phases of the game. And, you know, I mean, our kids, we had a great week of practice. So anytime you have a great week of practice, I feel like we're going to play well. So we played well today.
One of the amazing stats, Coach, you were perfect on third down conversions today. 0 for 0. You never faced a third down in the entire game. Do you remember ever coaching a game like that?
No, I don't. That's odd. So we hit. I guess we hit one of our offensive goals. So we were 75% or higher on third down.
In the second half, you guys only ran 6 offensive plays for 259 yards. A lot of big plays. You guys have a lot of big play capability with this team.
Well, we got some guys that are really fast, and they get out in space. I mean, you better be fast if you're going to catch them.
And when you got that two-headed monster running back with Warren and Naeem, and you get both of those guys back next year, how excited about that are you?
Well, I'm excited they're playing for me this year right now. So they both do a great job, and I think they complement each other very well. So I'm glad they're playing for us.
Last week's game was dominated by special teams. This week, your defense was very stellar.
Yeah, defensively we've been playing really well. So, but I mean it's going to get tougher from here on out. We're going to play in better competition as each week. So next week will be a big challenge, and then we'll see how that goes.
Obviously, Thanksgiving week, you guys have a schedule. You guys are pretty used to that. What will that kind of look like for you guys this week?
Well, depending on when we play, I'm not sure if we'll play Friday or Saturday. But the special thing is practicing on Thanksgiving Day. So we'll practice Thanksgiving Day morning. And then let the guys get home by noon so they can get with their families. But it's special, practicing during that week. So I'm happy that we're able to do it again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that Thanksgiving morning? It's kind of become a tradition. You guys have made the playoffs so many times in the state championship. Is there something special about that Thanksgiving morning practice?
It is. I mean, just getting the guys together and being thankful for what we all have. So I'm glad I'm able to spend it with these guys. So it's a great group of kids and men that we're with.
Coach, congratulations on the win. I'm going to let you get out of the rain. I'm going to get out of the rain myself. Thanks.
Thank you.
There you go, Matt. Hey, one special note. I want to name the fan of the game, Sharon Mongan. When it started to rain, came down, stood next to me, and shared her umbrella so that I didn't get soaking wet. So that is my fan of the game.
There you go, a brand new category. We've not had that before, but we welcome in the fan of the game. Well, Vic, as we just kind of quickly break this one down, I mean, Martinsburg at the end of that first half had the 49-0 lead, able to score very quickly in each of their possessions. A 1-yard touchdown on a one-play, 1-yard drive after a fumble on the opening kickoff. Next possession, a one-play drive, 37 yards on a pass completion. It was Naeem Kearney with the 1-yard run. Then Elijah Banks hit Anthony Smith for the 37-yard score. Trey Sign had a 1-yard touchdown. Elijah Banks, the quarterback, took it in from 5 yards out. Banks hit Malachi Brown for a 1-yard touchdown. There was a 9-yard touchdown run in there as well for Naeem Kearney, a 12-yard touchdown run for Kevon Warren. 49-0 at the half, and in the second half, again, very quick scores. Banks hit Gerard Bowie for an 80-yard touchdown pass on the very first offensive play of the second half for the Bulldogs. And then Kevon Warren goes 92 yards for a score. Martinsburg at one point had run 2 plays, had 172 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second half. Their final score, a 21-yard touchdown for Braxton Todd, and the Dogs go on for a 70-0 win.
Well, you take all that talent and then you take the execution that goes along with it. It's very difficult to stop. And, I'll tell you what, there's very few teams that have played all year. I mean, I can't vouch for some of these other schools or what have you, and I'm not talking about West Virginia, I'm talking about other states. I mean, not too many teams have played with the consistency any better than this team has all year long. I mean, they've done everything that you've asked them and then some, offensively, defensively, special teams. They've got speed, they've got size, they've got experience, they've got all the ingredients for what makes up a great team, and we're seeing that right now. This is not a good team, this is a great team because of so much that they have.
Well, and as you mentioned that, you said earlier, it was hard to really tell, was Martinsburg that much better in the way that they were executing than even the first time that these two teams games met, how much improvement had both teams made. And I look back to the regular season. If you've kept up with any of the teams, Sharando made it to the postseason, lost in their playoff opener. Academy Park lost only one other game the rest of the season. They went 8-2, and they're continuing on in their playoffs there in Pennsylvania. Salem has lost only that one game against Martinsburg, and they are moving on into the next round of their playoffs. I mean, you look back through the course of the season, and you see what this Bulldog team has done. Coming into this one, outscoring opponents 60-7 on average, and you think, well, they haven't played anybody, and the truth is they've played some pretty good teams.
They've played some pretty good teams, and the thing is, it looks like they haven't played anybody because of the scores. And part of the reasons it looks that way is because, I guess, they're just that good. They're able to put the points on the board. They're able to stop teams from putting points on the board. They get you to the point where you can't afford to make a mistake. And when you do things like you're in your own territory against a team beats you 77-0, and it's 4th down and 4th and 4 or 4th and 6 in your own territory, and you go for it. It's not one of those things I think is going to help your team. So, I think Spring Mills came into this ball game. They panicked. They came in with a panicked attitude that, hey, we can't punt it away to them. And believe it or not, their punt defense today was pretty good when they did punt it to them.
Your final score again, Martinsburg 70, Spring Mills nothing. We'll take a timeout. Let's do a 60-second break, and then on the other side, we'll run some of the post-game numbers from this one. It is West Virginia High School Playoff Football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
Back again at Coburn Field, taking a look at the numbers from this one. Post-game stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, who remind you, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Let's begin with Spring Mills. Guys, first half, 36 plays, 50 yards unofficially. Second half, they ran 12 plays, negative 16 yards in that second half. So it breaks down to 48 plays for 34 total yards, just 12 rushing yards and 22 passing yards. They went 4 of 14 on third down conversions, and in the first half, 0 of 4 on fourth down conversions, never really able to establish anything offensively.
No, they didn't. And the line of scrimmage was just dominated by Martinsburg. I tell you, with the snap of the ball, and you saw Spring Mills players just trying to hold their ground at the line of scrimmage, and the offensive linemen being pushed back into the backfield. And there were very, very few times that the ball carrier actually broke the line of scrimmage. And it's just a really, really good job. And the thing about it also is the fact that the linebackers weren't making a whole lot of tackles today. It was the front four guys up there for Martinsburg.
5 penalties, 25 yards whistled against the Spring Mills. They had just 3 first downs in 12 offensive possessions. They turned the football over twice in the ball game. Looking at just a couple of individual numbers, 15 carries, 26 yards for Chase Henson as the starting quarterback, who also played a little tailback. And in the first half, he went 7 of 13, passing for 26 yards. And also playing a little quarterback was Jalen Burton. He went 2 for 2, but for -2 yards, as each of those passes right near the line of scrimmage in Martinsburg there to make the tackles. And Burton, 5 carries for -28 yards, getting sacked a couple of times in the ball game. Let's turn to the Martinsburg Bulldogs. In the first half, 21 plays, 306 yards. In the second half, 6 plays, 259 yards. Yes, on just 6 plays. It tallies out to 27 plays for 565 yards, 327 rushing, 238 passing yards on the day. Just unbelievable numbers. Third down conversions, Jason already hit it earlier talking with Coach Walker, 0 for 0. Never faced a third down today. Obviously never saw a fourth down either.
That's tremendous. I mean, you stop and think about it. You take all those stats and you put them down on paper and then take a look at them, and someone say, what video game were you playing? I mean, it just doesn't sound humanly possible that what they did here today and what they've done all year long, it just doesn't seem real. But it is. It's a fact. It's just what happened.
They did have some issues with penalties. I've got 11 penalties, 110 yards. They had 17 first downs, and the Bulldogs did have a pair of turnovers. One, a special teams fumble on a kick, and the other was an INT thrown by Elijah Banks. Banks goes 7 of 8 for 208 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kevon Warren, 5 carries, 158 yards, and a couple of scores. Naeem Kearney, 5 carries for 55 yards, and he had a touchdown in the first half. Trey Sine had a touchdown as he had 3 carries for 29 yards, and even in that last possession, Braxton Todd, 2 carries, 58 yards, including a 21-yard touchdown.
You take a kid like Banks, for example. Here's a guy that I'm sure wants to go to college and play football, and he may be undervaluated simply because, show us your stats, show us what you've done. And the sad part about it is the amount of time that he's played, the number of passes that he's thrown and so forth, it's going to be hard to evaluate him. Even to see him on film, it's going to be hard to evaluate him because he's not out there that often. And, you get the lead, and next thing you know, either he's not throwing or he's not in the ball game. So, I guess that comes with the territory of being, a great team.
You still put it all together, and he's thrown 37 touchdown passes this season with the 3 more here today. All right, that's a look at the numbers. They're brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring, too. Learn more by calling our friend Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. Before we go, we've got 2 awards we need to give out. The electrifying play of the game. Jason, join in. The 92-yard run for Kevon Warren, the 80-yard pass play from Banks to Gerard Bowie, or do you look at one of those plays in the first half? Is it the fumble recovery on the very opening kickoff that gives Martinsburg a quick 1-yard score that set the tone for this game?
I mean, they're all very good candidates. I mean, for electrifying, I like the Kevon Warren run. I do. I mean, the kid, he is electrifying. Just every time he touches the ball, you're worried that he's going to go to the house, and he did, 91 yards. I think that's my vote, with a very close second to the 82-yard touchdown pass.
There you go, Kevon Warren, our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's, not just appliances anymore. Find out more online at Orsinis.com or stop by their new location. Check out all the great things that they have to offer, from bedding to barbecuing to, they still have appliances and more. They're at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. Finally, to our collision of the game, I marked down 2 candidates. It was a very second play from scrimmage for Spring Mills when there was the big hit from Ty Lucas, and then later on in that first quarter, kind of a tag team hit between Ty Lucas and Terrell Good that came on a 3rd down and 3 play. Either one of those jump out in either of your minds?
Well, the Ty Lucas, that was just a big hit. I mean, that was a big body hit.
And again, another one of those that you might say set the tone early on in this football game. Second offensive play from scrimmage, and you take a shot like that. I got to imagine you're thinking about that the rest of the game.
You got to beat 77-0, and then you come out there and you think you got a shot today, and you come out and Martinsburg apparently they've come to play after that hit. So I think that kind of set the tone.
So Ty Lucas with our collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family owned. They offer superior customer service at a great price and performed by experienced certified technicians. Find them online at Cody's Auto, that's COTYS Auto.com, or phone 304-901-4777. All right, one more 60-second break. When we come back, we will set up our next broadcast, and we will check in on some other scores, including Well, let's see. The Shepherd Rams getting a big college victory. Did the Mountaineers get the win on Senior Day? We might even get an update on Maryland and Indiana. Got a couple of guys following those games up here in the booth as well. That and more as we come back to wrap up our Palace Lounge post-game show. Again, the final today from here at Coburn Field. It is Martinsburg with the win over Spring Mills, 70-0.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef's special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Time here today at Coburn Field, where the Martinsburg Bulldogs get the victory over Spring Mills by a 70-0 count. The Dogs now at 12-0, have won 14 straight playoff games, 54 consecutive games overall, and they will host a semifinal matchup next week. Who will they play? Jason, you were telling me you checked that Parkersburg South score against Musselman. What is it now?
45-33 Parkersburg South, under 2 minutes.
There you go. So 45-33. Gutty effort by this Musselman team, but it looks like it might be a little too late in that one. So right now we're estimating that it will be Parkersburg South coming here to face the Martinsburg Bulldogs next week. That game could be Friday afternoon, the day after Thanksgiving, could be Friday night, could be another Saturday afternoon game. Very rare occasion that it might be Saturday night, but those are the four options, and Parkersburg South, as the traveling team, will get a chance to choose which one they would like.
I gotta tell you, if I was Parkersburg South, a couple years, I think it was last year, maybe the year before that, the team that came in did it on a Friday afternoon, and they were able to kind of keep the crowd down a little bit that way. Some people, not everybody is off on Friday afternoon,
right.
So that's an opportunity to bring your team up here and potentially keep Martinsburg's crowd down a little bit. It's a game. It's all a game. It really is. It's all a game.
And either way, we're going to be here. Don't turn that mic off yet, because let's see, the Mountaineers, they didn't get it done against Oklahoma State.
They lost 20-13. So the debate on whether or not to play the quarterback in the bowl game is a moot point at this point. So
no bowl game.
No bowl game.
But still a chance maybe to get to 5 wins next week. We'll see if they can do that. That is the day after Thanksgiving. What do we got here? That is Parkersburg South adding another score, 52-33 now on top of Musselman. So it looks like it will be Parkersburg South coming here next week. About a minute 24 left in that one. Again, we'll have it for you here, whether it's Friday or Saturday. I know we're hoping maybe for a Friday, because we'd love to bring you Shepherd football on Saturday. What an amazing win for them today. Final score, 31-27 on a touchdown pass from Tyson Bajan to Devin Phelps from 20-plus yards out with, 11 seconds left? Yeah, Matt Crawford giving me the signal. 11 seconds left.
Heck of a football game. And Tyson, you and I talked about Tyson Bajan had, I don't want to say subpar performances over the last couple of weeks, but not quite up to the standards that we were expecting from him. He had a whale of a football game today, and a dime of a throw back of the end zone to Devin Phelps. You mentioned 11 seconds left in that ball game, and now on to the number 1 seed, the Slimy Pebble of Slippery Rock. You know it's going to be a great atmosphere, one of the top teams in the PSAC year in and year out. And let's talk about what we talked about earlier in the week. Remember when Shepherd made that run to the national championship? What was the order? They won IUP, they got a win, and then they faced Slippery Rock. Those were home games, but still, you're talking the same two opponents in the first 2 weeks. See if Shepherd can have some magic going into next Saturday. It'll be a 12 noon kick at Slippery Rock.
IUP's only loss this year was by 3 points, 45-42 against Slippery Rock. So you go into this one going, hey, Shepherd should be very competitive in this matchup.
It's going to give you a lot to talk about on Miller Time this week. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun, but I'll be without Matt Crawford. Oh, wait, Jason, you'll be coming in to join me for Miller Time. Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and Vic, as you said earlier, kudos to head coach Ernie McCook.
Yes, indeed.
Being able to get them where they are.
Yes, indeed. I think he's done a tremendous job. I think probably maybe the coach of the year. I don't know, he may get snubbed with that as well, being in the PSAC, but I think Bajan may have taken it a little bit personal about the fact of not being the first team quarterback on the all-conference team this year. So, again, that's great for him and great for the team.
Yeah, and if you have to watch that final drive, it was, there was, under 2 minutes left, and it was all passes, and and he drove them, I want to say it was almost 90 yards in that last minute and a half, so the poise, I mean, we all have seen it here. He played here in Martinsburg, but, for a sophomore to drive him downfield in that big of an atmosphere, I mean, you got to say he's playing good ball right now.
Yeah, and watching those guys celebrate after they scored a touchdown, it's like it was over with, under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. They were jumping up and down, and, they're cheering, they're getting the crowd all wrapped up, and I said, well, we still got a ways to go here yet. And then the opening, that kickoff that I think we got the ball about the 14-yard line or something like that. Got a long way to go, and you got to give Shepherd all the credit in the world for pulling that one out.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Hey, Crawford, how's your Terps doing?
I was going to say, we can't let you guys go without the update. We promised going into the break. Not a good game for the Terps, apparently.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. It's college basketball season. When you ask me about Terps football, it's they beat William and Mary last night. That was the only game I cared about. Number 6 in the nation, but now they're down at Senior Day in College Park. They're down in Nebraska 7-0 in the first. What about your Hoosiers?
My Hoosiers are actually hosting the number 13 Michigan Wolverines, and the score is tied 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Indiana's got a good ball club this year, 7-3, almost took out Penn State last week, so I'd like to see them pull the upset there against Michigan.
52-33. Thank you very much, Zach Van Meter, passing along the information. That's now a final from down at Parkersburg South. So it will be the Patriots coming here to face Martinsburg next weekend in the AAA semifinals. The other semifinal will have Spring Valley visiting Cabell Midland as Spring Valley shut out Capital last night 30-0. Cabell Midland got by George Washington 28-18. We now know the 4 remaining teams heading into semifinal weekend. We'll find out when those games will be played tomorrow, and as soon as we get that information, we will get it out to you. Well, thank you for joining us for today's coverage from here at Coburn Field. We thank each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school football featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We send a shout out and a thanks to both head coaches and athletic directors.
And that concludes today's postgame show. Be sure to tune in each week throughout the regular and postseason for more West Virginia high school football featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood. Berkeley and Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at MyMillerHonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. store. Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting your tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WVU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
The game may be over, but don't go away just yet. It's time for the Extra Point, where we add on scores and information from other games around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State. So let's get it started as we head back to the Talk Radio WRNR studios.